Oh, I did it again. It wasn't live. I forgot to start it again. I can't believe I keep doing this. It never learns. What's up? Look at this. This is a good start. We got this going on. A classic. And I thought I'd dust off a helicopter. What is this? I have no idea where did this livery come from? Is this one of you guys? No, this is AI. This is ground, just ground. But I thought I'd grab a helicopter because the Bahamas sounded fun, and I kind of selfishly want to see sim effects in action. And I think one of the best ways to do it is to be in a helicopter near water. So I picked up this one, this Alouette III. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation. Alouette. Grabbed this. This is one of the best rated helicopters in the marketplace, and you know I'm absolutely horrible at flying them, so it'll be hilarious. But we're just going to have some fun around the Bahamas. I found a flight plan from the World Tours website as usual, so I'm going to go ahead and use one of those. It's linked in the description, but we're just going to fly through a bunch of airports here in the Bahamas. What's the speed? I have no idea. 150? Looks like maybe it tops out 150 kilometers per hour. Oh no, 180.
Let's go for
6, 7, 8, 190. 190. And, yeah, I got sand tensions on for some background noise, as usual. Gotta have all the background noise. Actually, I'll probably tune off the frequency. And then just maybe we'll listen to some Janet today. Let me turn off the chatter. There, canned chatter only for now. We'll check in with Janet. Janet, what's up back there? Haven't used the AI Janet for a while. Oh man, the inside of this. I haven't even looked at the inside. Helicopter lovers will be annoyed with me because I don't fly helicopters or appreciate them the way that people that fly them do.
The view, like a cat watching a washing machine.
Yes.
3 o'clock.
Here comes the Toby story.
A place with a history as rich as a chocolate cake. It was founded in 1955, which is younger than most wines, but older than most socks.
How to fly a helicopter for dummies?
And the chance to buy a fridge magnet that'll break before they get home. My friend Toby once tried to start a business here, selling ice to
This is a tease. I need to open this.
Before he could convince anyone it was a good idea. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed, much like when you're trying to find the right altitude and end up inventing a new one. Isn't history fascinating?
All right, Janet. All right, so I got the mini map here in the bottom right. What's up, Delta? Hey, Jack. Hey, Chase. Well, John the Copter is in the chat, and so if you're joining us, John, you can put, at the very least, my skills to shame, which don't even exist, so. My friend Toby says, don't forget, oh, I almost read that. Hey, Janet, have you ever taken Toby out for a delicious hot dog with only ketchup and mustard on it? We're just curious. Thanks. All right, flew this thing around for about 10 minutes. Let me take a sip of coffee and we'll get going.
Oh, Toby and hot dogs. A tale as old as time.
Oh my God.
Let's took him to Freeport, a place where the sun shines brighter than the future of someone who's just won the lottery. It's a tourist hotspot discovered by tourists when they first got lost looking for the beach. People who love sun, sea, and getting sand in their shoes find it fascinating. Toby, he ordered a hot dog, right? With just ketchup and mustard. But as fate would have it, a seagull swooped down and snatched it before the first bite. It was like watching a live-action remake of The Birds, directed by a pigeon.
Wow, that was wonderful. Wait, I see John here, but I don't know which helicopter you're in. Where's John? John the Copter John. I think he's right here. But it's showing him as a cub or something floating. Yeah, I want to get more helicopters, at least to see you guys that fly them more in the correct helicopter, but it seems like they're pretty limited which ones are in the marketplace. I think most people fly like the high performance group ones, They're like the H-145. Oh, you're in the Cub. Oh, okay, okay. I thought I saw someone else floating just here. Oh yeah, I have my Toby. Speaking of Toby, I have my Toby turned on. Oh, you're in the Savage Cub. Was he not just floating? Am I making stuff up? I swear he was just floating. Man, this is a rudder pedal workout for sure. And I do have the rudder trim and rotor trim. The rotor trim is set. And I've been playing around with my sim volume. I don't know if you guys can hear it very well, but it's much louder than I would think it would be. I'll turn it up a little bit. Just a constant battle. Sometimes it's just way too loud. Oh, you landed. Love the stole capabilities. Oh, you were actually... It's so stole that I thought you were in a helicopter. Yeah, picking between fixed wing and a helicopter, I might end up switching halfway through or something. I just thought it'd be fun to try this at the beginning to maybe see some of the sim effects. There was some really crazy photos or screenshots I saw on the subreddit of people using sim effects, and they just looked incredible. So it might have been post-processing, or it might have just been really good looking. Hey, Mrs. T-Fi, what's up, Underdog? Oh, Avison, yeah, you picked up sim effects. H-160 can be flown in IFR. Ooh. Yeah, I have not and probably won't put in the time to get really good at flying helicopters, but it's just nice to fly them every now and then. I don't have any of the assists turned on right now, but I might do that later. The Cowan sim choppers are great. I did see that the majority of the helicopters that have good ratings are the Cowan ones. Jack says, I missed the stream. What'd you think of the Duke? It's incredible. I actually love the Duke. I think the turbine version is probably the best one to get for most people. Unless you like really, really care about operating a piston, the turbine is incredible. Like the differences between them are not huge. Like the inside is, I mean, yeah, the only reason to pick the piston is if you love a piston engine. But the speed with the turbine and the takeoff distance in the turbine especially is super impressive. So it's like an 800-foot ground roll at sea level in the turbine. It's crazy. And I finally made a video yesterday just covering the little retro GPS that's in it, the KLN 90B. It's this cool little like 1990s GPS. So I just published a video at like midnight last night. I finally finished it. But it is super cool. And the guys over on that make the Comanche said that they're actually going to be putting that GPS in the Comanche as an option. It's this really cool open source 1990s GPS. It was really fun to use. So yeah, that, and you can do the GTNs and the GNS 530 and 430 in it as well. But it was a nice little change of pace, and it was just exciting to learn another little GPS unit. Maybe this thing isn't that bad to fly. Do I have assist turned on? Toby really helps with flying helicopters, that's for sure. Not Janet's Toby, but regular Toby. The eye tracking variation of Toby. What's up, Chris? All right, we're here in the Bahamas. We're just going to fly around. This is going to be, I think, more casual group flight than before. There are some airports and airstrips to fly and land on along the islands here, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of take it more chill today after working way too long on that video yesterday. Well, I got to close the door. Every time I close the door, the dog comes in, opens the door, then leaves the room and starts barking from the other side of the place. She's just trolling me. Delta says, My friend Toby once turned my monitor view for me when I was moving my head. Yeah, whenever I look over at my other monitor to read chat, that's the one downside to streaming it with the Toby. But, you know, if I just don't read chat, problem solved. But if I just turn off the eye tracking completely, that's probably the best option. I can just side-eye the chat. Has this eye versus head tracking ratio. So I made it 95. Is that 95%? Yeah, okay. It's 0 to 100. So 95% head tracking, 0 eye tracking. I left a little eye tracking just because as I look around with my eyes, it's kind of cool. It gives a little subtle movement, but we'll just do 100% head tracking. This is one of the big reasons to use a headset. Like, I know some of you guys like making videos and streaming too. And if you do it with a giant mic in front of your face, it's just like every time you're moving your head around, you move away from your microphone if you have a mounted mic. So it's really, really nice having a headset if you're, you know, on Discord or streaming or whatever. It's just a nice change. If you're using the Toby, it makes it much easier to just keep talking. Not have to, you're like dodging a microphone while you turn your head. All right, so the first airport is to the west, so I'm just going to get headed over there. Once we get towards that one, I'll probably splish splash in the water a little bit. I did check out some of the sim effects here, getting closer to the ground right before I started the stream, but I'll fly towards the first airport first and then play around with it over there.
About 6 kilometers away, you'll find the Ruby Golf Course.
Oh yeah, you're gonna send her back? Good.
Blue.
Yeah, every time she barks, she gets sent back.
In a big puddle. People say golf is a good walk spoiled, but here it's more like a good walk with a chance of finding a lost ball in a palm tree. Now my friend Toby, he once tried to play golf there, decided to drive the golf cart like it was a bumper car.
I think this is the normal way to fly a helicopter, pitched on its side like this.
Spectacle, especially for the iguanas sunbathing nearby. They've never seen a caddy swim before.
It seems like when you're inside, there's a lot of protection from the noise too. If I go outside, it's actually not too bad outside either. Sometimes there's just like a huge discrepancy between inside and outside engine noise and stuff like that. And I don't know if it's a good thing or not. I wish you could hear as much of the engine as you wanted inside, because some people just really love hearing the engine. And then as soon as you, like, say you're inside enjoying the sound of the engine and then you go outside, it's like triple the volume. It's just like, oh. But yeah, I'll turn the music off for a minute. We can hear the helicopter itself. Yeah, this one has one of the highest ratings. I think it's like 4.7 or 4.8 stars on the marketplace. And there are a lot of helicopters in there that are down in the like the 1 and 2 star range, a lot in the mid 2s, but all of the Cowan ones, this one is not by Cowan. I actually forget the developer of this one. It's not Cowan. But most of the ones at the top of the list, sorted by best rating, are Cowan helicopters. Oh yeah, Jeff. Yeah, I actually like having the headphone effect off, just because it's less jarring when you go outside of the plane, if you or the helicopter, if you use the external camera, which I like doing sometimes. So I tend to just be just leave the helicopter or the headphone sim off, and then just turn the volume down low enough where I can kind of listen to it the whole time. I think sim effects is almost worth it just for the contrails. Like, seeing all the contrails every time I'm flying now, it's just way more real feeling. I don't know if there's this many contrails around the Bahamas right now. I don't know how realistic it is, or if these are actually multiplayer, or if it just throws in a few of them randomly, if there aren't even planes there. But oh, chemtrails, sorry, yes, of course, chemtrails. Listen to the real pilot. She knows what she's talking about. But yeah, there's something about just having the contrails that almost feels worth it. It is kind of crazy. It's $25 though. I know it's kind of first of its kind for these kind of effects. But Yeah, it's kind of weird when the add-ons are that expensive and the sim itself is like $60 or $35, $40 on sale. It is a little crazy, but I guess it's just that's just sim things, you know? It's usually expensive. It's weird. The rotor trim doesn't seem to be. I have to put in a lot of left rudder here. There, I'm gonna well, for some reason when I reset the rotor trim, I guess it resets both the vertical and the tail rotor trim. Maybe I need to look at my settings. But the trim, the left and right trim doesn't really seem to do too much, so it might be a configuration issue. Definitely needing a lot of right rudder. And it's just tilted the entire time. This is almost stable. Yeah, for some reason when I barely started flying this obviously, but I'm always tilted to the right. It's just constantly pulling to the left, and so if I'm trimming to the right, or even if it's just very hard to trim it out. Maybe that's just a realistic thing. It's definitely user error though. Yeah, here it is if I let go of the rudder. If I let go of my rudder pedals, well, it's not too bad, but now it's aimed to the right. This is like wings level basically. It's just constantly turning, so I'm trying to trim it to the right. It's almost like I have aileron trim on or something. Let me check my rotor trim. On my stick, here we go. No. Rotor. Governor. Primary control surfaces. Tail rotor axis. I don't want a tail rotor axis, do I? I don't know, I shouldn't turn this into me learning helicopters. Jeff says it's easier to fly with a stick that's dead. Oh, meaning it doesn't return to home. Oh, that makes sense. Is that normal with helicopter sticks? That's so interesting. Oh, I see. Simple place stick where it needs to be. Oh, that is awesome. I never knew that. Okay. This is going to become a Jeff teaches helicopters stream, I think, which I appreciate. I'm all for it. So yeah, I have this rotor trim reset, and I think that's probably... Then I have longitudinal trim left and right. Or longitudinal is basically like our elevator trim, and then lateral trim left and right. And then a button to reset them. Toggle rotor brake on and off. I haven't touched that. And then increment and decrement tail rotor. I wonder if I should set this to my prop axis and just see what it does. I'm sure it'll be horrible. I'm experimenting. Maybe I should have set my... Oh, okay. Oh, that just adjusts... Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so instead of using the rudder pedals, I can just adjust the tail rotor trim. Oh, that's kind of great, actually.
Kilometers away, heading 100, you'll find the Burial Mound Cave. It's a tourist attraction.
Interesting. I had no idea about the dead stick thing, but that makes total sense.
Who thought it was a good place to hide his treasure. Turns out it was just full of ancient bones.
So I could crack open my my Verpal stick and remove all of the... I forget the terminology. That basically the rubber bands, you know. I don't know if it's the cams or the what are they called exactly.
Claiming he could communicate with the spirits there. Instead, he fell in and spent the night talking to a very angry...
All right, Janet, we're gonna turn you off for now. Yeah, so I changed my prop axis to the tail rotor axis instead of my pedals. so I can just have it in a constant position. That's probably completely unrealistic. Yeah, so I can use my axis, my prop axis to handle the setting the rotor, like instead of using my rudder pedals left and right. It sounds like cheat mode kind of. There we go, and then with a little trim. That's actually not bad. It's definitely saving my feet, but this is definitely the cheat way to do it, it seems like. Can I pop this out? Oh, nice. All right, making my way over to the coast with all you guys. Jeff says I have a full Virpil setup. I do have, yeah, I have the Alpha Constellation left-hand stick. And then my right hand, I have the Sharka control panel, which is like the little panel that has the throttle. It's got like 4 axes on it, 4 levers or axes on it, and then a bunch of buttons and switches. But I mostly fly GA planes, so I'm probably not going to change my setup too much. Or at all. I'm not going to physically change anything since I fly helicopters so rarely. But man, Virpil is incredible. I love all the Virpil hardware. Like I highly recommend it. If you can invest in it, I would get Virpil over everything if possible. Like the Honeycomb Bravo is really nice. I do miss some of the features of it, like having 6 axes is really nice if you're flying a twin or something like that, but I make do just fine in this. Like, I don't really need more than 4. Even if I'm flying a twin, you're generally not adjusting the mixture that often. So I just use my mouse for the mixture adjustments now. And I just, I can set it up if I want with, you know, 2 on the throttle, 2 on the prop. What's up, Michael? Average speed today? I'm at like 200 kilometers per hour, it looks like right now. But I don't know, it's pretty slow, let's say. I don't know the conversion 200 kilometers per hour to knots. But this is feeling pretty stable. It's definitely cheat mode, but way easier. Instead of using the rudder pedals with my feet to just have it on an axis, and it's just holding it there for me. Kind of loving it, actually. If it wasn't such a pain to like open up my Virpil stick and remove all of the... Actually, I think I might just need a screwdriver, right? To make it a dead stick? Actually, I do think, yeah, with this, all I need is the long hex key, and I put it in the 2 holes on the top, and then I can just basically turn off, or turn the tightness to maximum, so it'll... It's either maximum or minimum, I don't know which one it would be. About 110, 107 knots. Very slow for sure, whatever it is. Yeah, Virpil is incredible. Hey Corpo, what's up? Rotary today. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of chill today. I think we been doing so much IFR stuff in planes lately. I just wanted to have some fun in something I'm even worse at in flying than the other stuff I normally fly. But yeah, I thought it'd be fun to break out some helicopters again. I mainly wanted to see some of the sim effect stuff. So at some point I'll get down lower to the water and see some of the rotor wash stuff happening. Nice, someone else is in the Alouette. I want to say like Alouette, but that's the way a dumb American would say it. And I looked up the pronunciation and it's more like Alouette, but yes. This one had really, really good reviews. I just went by the star rating, and it was between this and a bunch of different Cowans, like the H125. But yeah, this one looked a little unique, and it has a floats variant and stuff, so I thought it'd be cool. And it is pretty cool. I also think this Chinook's still really, really fun to fly. I don't know why I didn't try doing this with the rotor before. Just put it on an axis. It's kind of fun. Oh, use the hex key and make it maximum tight. Okay. Is it weird that whenever I have to do something like that, I feel like I'm ruining the hardware? Does that make sense? Like, So like, even with the Virpil, with the axes for the throttle and the prop, I had to tighten it a bit in the back of the panel. You have to like open the back up and tighten it to your liking, and then close it up. And when I was tightening it, every time I think about like mechanically something pressing against something else and tightening that way, I think that over time it's just going to wear out and die, and I feel bad tightening it almost. I don't know. It's probably such a weird way to think. But that's just where my brain is. I like feel bad for it. I'm like, I'm sorry I'm doing this to you as I'm tightening the hardware, which is what it's made for. Of any other stick, I probably would be. Yeah, and Virpil's all about mechanics. Yeah, I think I want to be like very, very delicate with the nice things I own, you know? So I'm very, yeah, I just want them to be like, I want all the mechanical pieces to be happy, which is not a very normal thought, probably. I don't know. It's just how I think about it. Sorry, earlier, was it Mike or Chris? Maybe Chris asked me for the coffee update. I did the shaken espresso again. I keep going back and forth between like just a simple iced coffee with like a splash of creamer, splash of oat milk. And this like hazelnut shaken espresso thing is so delicious. So after this, I have to work out. All right, let's see if Janet is up for some conversation here. You know, Janet, how's the trip going so far? What do you think?
The trip's like history, isn't it? It's just one thing after another. Speaking of which, we're near High Rock, a place with rocks that are unsurprisingly quite high. They've been sitting there for ages, probably thinking about the meaning of life, or at least the meaning of erosion. People come here to stare at them, which is a bit like watching paint dry, but with more seagulls. My friend Toby once tried to propose to his girlfriend here, but the ring slipped and fell into a rock crevice. They're still searching for it.
What rocks is she talking about?
For smooth, flying from some pilots. Not you, though. You're doing adequately.
Adequately. Nice. I wonder where she thinks we are. What rock formations? On your way with a... What? Dodo Airlines? All these circular buildings are giving me like alien vibes for some reason. It's like an Area 51, like secret operation going on here. It's probably like a museum or something. All right, I'm gonna get to the coast coming up here at this first airport, MYXZ. Looks like it's called Deepwater K. Oh, it's a water treatment plant. That makes a lot more sense. And I'm gonna splish splash in the water a little bit to see some of these effects. I've had sim effects since it came out. Was that last week? But I haven't really tested it out too much other than that like one takeoff. When the Parallel 42 guys were in the chat. Yeah, this helicopter looks pretty awesome. Look at this thing. I'm not sure why it has such amazing reviews. Like, I'm sure the majority of helicopter pilots send their reviews based on the flight model because we're not usually using an insane amount of avionics in these things, as far as I know. Whereas, like, reviewing a fixed wing People are always about, you know, the avionics, the systems, did the circuit breakers work, all that kind of stuff. And the flight model seems to take a backseat sometimes to a lot of things with fixed-wing planes. And in this, I assume with helicopters, it's just so much more crucial with the flight modeling. And I'm pretty sure when Flight Sim 2024 comes out, we're going to get, I think they previewed dual rotor physics, so at least 2 rotors will be supported natively. So I don't know how something like the Chinook works right now, but that helicopter is super fun to fly. And I might think that because maybe it's more unrealistic than it actually is. It didn't feel difficult to fly. This thing gets out of control real fast, especially near the ground. I guess just like every helicopter, that's the most challenging part, is hovering, getting close to the ground. All right, here comes the first airport, MYXZ, 5 minutes ahead, it says. All right, let me switch to the real rudder pedals. I basically have like cruise control on the pedals by using an axis for the pedals. Just gonna get down here and splish splash a little bit, check out these rotor effects. Supposedly, I can see the multiplayer one, so if you guys are here too, you come down near the water, land in the water, hover near the water, should be able to see all of the effects from you guys too. This looks like a nice spot. The water here is beautiful looking. It's so blue. It's so teal. All right, can I get down though? That's the question. It's gonna take me an hour to get this thing down towards the water. All right, watch that vertical speed. All right, there's 0. I don't understand how helicopter pilots do it with their feet. Like, how do you hold... I mean, they probably aren't. They're probably trimming it the entire time, right? So they're not holding the rudder pedal. But right now, like, I'm putting so much pressure on my right rudder pedal. Auto trim? Oh, that sounds nice. I think I can turn that on in the assist settings. At some point, I probably will. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's spinning out of control, but it still looks cool. Remove the spring and piston. Oh, do the rudder pedals in helicopters work like dead stick style as well? Where they don't spring back to the center? Yeah, I guess that's a good idea too, actually. I could literally just pop the spring off of it, right? Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get down here and just take the spring off. Just undo the spring tension on the crosswinds. That is such a good idea. Okay, it's almost off. I can just Oh, wait. I don't know if that's gonna work. Oh, no, it's not going to work. Okay, yeah. That's not going to work because... Or is it? All right, hold on. This is very strange. Sorry, I'm just down here under the desk now. I can bring the headset with me when I do this. What a great advantage. Okay, the spring... Okay, the spring is now off completely. So is it going to detect the rudder position? Oh, I think it will. This is such a good idea. Uh-oh. Okay. Oh, it does work. Oh my god, dead stick rudder pedals. Great streaming visuals? What happened? Oh. Okay, so this is basically now working the same way that the axis does, right? Because, yeah, it's not springing it back to the center. So once I get it stopped, I can just stop. Oh my god, this is such a good idea. Is this how helicopter...
Someone probably got lost.
Is this how helicopter rudder pedals work, where when you push them, they stay?
Because humans like to stand on small bits of land surrounded by water, pretending they're discovering it for the first time. People
Okay, can we see... Alright, Jen, I'm gonna have to turn you off for now, sorry. Trying to see someone else's effects here. Oh, they do work that way. No way. God, that makes so much sense. All this time I've been thinking to myself, man, helicopter pilots have the strongest legs and ankles in the business. Absolutely insane how strong you have to be constantly be using rudder pedals and holding them. But it just turns out I'm an idiot. Yeah, I just removed the spring from them and now we're just... Oh my god, this is so much better. And if I do this with this stick... That makes so much sense. Now I'm a professional helicopter pilot. I'm following FX here. I didn't really see him splashing up any water. Virpil has a dampener. Oh, for their pedals for helis. That is awesome. Yeah, it's almost like too easy to move. So yeah, I would need to like tighten the resistance on them, but with the crosswinds, that's not a thing. All right, let me try to make my way back over here to where Michael is. He's down in the water. Jumping in Magnum PI style? Do it. Yeah, I didn't see any... I also don't see any... No, there's just like a little reflection there when Michael just took off. Not sure if I'm seeing any of the multiplayer effects. Alright, who's in a helicopter that I can track down then? Okay, Underdog is in one, but I don't have the H-47. You know what I should also do is take the rudder pedal sensitivity and restore it. I had, I set the rudder pedals, I think, back to... Yeah, back to linear. Oh, no, it's at negative 29. Maybe if I set it a little more, I'll do like something crazy, like negative 50. That'll probably help just make it a little less sensitive. Okay, here we go. Lake Pilot and Jack are in ones that I can see as well. So I can see you guys as helicopters. Let me get down to you. See if we see any effects here. I don't see any effects at all, right? There's nothing. Yeah, nothing at all. Only effects from me. I thought one of the whole marketing things behind this was that you see your friends. And I definitely have the multiplayer stuff turned on here. I'll double check it up here. Environment and settings. I think it might be settings. I have it on quality mode, so it should show as much as possible. Simulated traffic. Oh, this is simulated contrails. Wait. Simulated traffic. Does that mean AI, like it's fake traffic? So not just multiplayer? Yeah, I don't really want the simulated traffic. I just want the real one. So here, AI multiplayer, contrails extended are on. Quality is dynamic. I thought it showed... I swear it was supposed to show multiplayer engines. So I don't know if this is all for me or not. These are all on, right? They almost look like they're off with this green hollow square. Oh, when sim update... Dave says it's when sim update 15 comes out, then you'll be able to see your friends. You'll be able to see your friends' effects when that comes out. Okay. And I also didn't realize under environment, you have simulated traffic for the contrails. So maybe right now I also can't see multiplayer contrails either. Maybe we need sim update 15 for that too. So I guess I'll just leave the simulated contrails on for now. Well, interesting if true, Dave. Thanks for that info. So we're not like debunking it or anything crazy like that, worthy of some super dramatic TikTok calling out Parallel 42, which is definitely my style. But yeah, I guess we won't see those effects until sim updates out. Well, at least I can get down there theoretically and see them. We saw them a little bit. Let me see if I can hover a little bit. Trippy to see planes act as helicopters, yeah. Whoa, don't mind me. This is fine. Oh. I mean, it is a really cool effect, though. Ouch. Fail, fail. It's really hard to fly at this camera angle, too. Yeah, these pedals with no spring, very weird to use since they just stay where they are. It takes some getting used to. Try to stabilize it. Yeah, I could see having dampeners on something like this, how nice it would be flying helicopters. I mean, it's a pretty cool effect. So seeing everybody else's effect when Sim Update 15's out will be really cool. We'll have to try it again. Whoops. Yeah, it's really hard to use the rudder pedals this way. There's no like since they're just like very like loose. It's just kind of weird. It's very hard to set them in the right position. So like if I use the axis on my throttle, it's a lot easier. All right, onward. First airport, or second airport, I guess. Lifetime says your floats become invisible when you take off, but when you get close to the water, they're visible. Great. Yeah, just kind of like landing gear, I guess. How we have landing gear. Landing gear is so weird. On every plane, you don't see the flaps down. You don't see the wheels, the landing gear down. It's super weird. Hopefully we get that in Flight Sim 2024 as well, just so when you're seeing your friends, you see how their plane is configured. I don't know. I have a feeling that's not going to be. I have a feeling that's not going to be in Flight Sim 2024. What's up, Soul? Just got the full version of Flow. Yeah, I think, so I'm running Flow Essentials. I was running Flow Pro for a while, but then I picked up Essentials. It's kind of silly, but I picked that up from the marketplace just so whenever I'm showing it, you guys can see only the stuff that's in Essentials. Pretty much everything is the same. Like, I think the only difference might be like the streamer features, which I never really used. There's some like chat. I think you can bring up like your Twitch chat only or something like that in a box. There's a couple other like streamer only features. And then I think there's some kind of SDK like for nerds. You know, I am a nerd, but just not nerdy enough to be programming stuff just for my overlays. But yeah, there's some sort of SDK or configuration files you can change in the Pro version. But yeah, the Essentials is all I think almost anybody needs. So yeah, you have the map and then configure the wheel and all that. You get the nameplates. I think the nameplates are incredible. Like, yeah, it's one of the best features. They're really well done. Man, yeah, having this trimmed out. I really like the suggestion, Delta. Oh, Delta, I thought you were just lurking today, but there you are. He's here. He's with us. Put your chat in a box. SNL. Almost the same thing. You still have to configure it. Yeah, it's pretty nice. What's nice is when we're doing multiplayer like this, you can go ahead, open up the configuration, and while we're all here, assuming you have a bunch of, you know, bunch of the regulars here on your friends list as well, you can go through the nameplates and play around with the different colors. I made it so if you're not on my list, it's just black text, and I turned off the outline and everything, and then if you're on my friends list, it puts the highlight and everything. So if you guys are upset that you don't have a blue name, you can just add me. But yeah, it'll highlight your friends. And then you can also, I also really like the feature where you can not show anybody that's not your friend, just in case you want to fly around and, you know, just see your friends and ignore all the rest of people. It's kind of cool. Watercooled says, I have to lurk today because I'm cooking. I have to constantly check on food. What are you making? We need to know. We get coffee updates during this stream, so we might as well also get food updates. Oh, you made it disappear. You have to, if you go into your control settings in the sim itself, the keybind it uses is for a setting called like show help or something like that. Just look for the word help in the control settings and bind something to that. And when you hit that shortcut, it triggers the flow radial menu. This is so weird flying the helicopter and keeping my feet off of the rudder pedals because I set it to an axis. It feels like cheating, but I bet this is actually more realistic. Man, the simulated contrails do look great. I thought that those were multiplayer contrails or something, and I was like in some random place near the North Pole, and there were a bunch of contrails in the sky. I was like, no, I don't think so, unless these are like international flights, but I didn't have AI traffic on. Anyway, I mean, once Sim Update 15 comes out, apparently we'll need to reinstall the Dukes, maybe? When I installed the Dukes, I saw that the installer, the Just Flight installer, does tell you, it asks you a question if you have Sim Update 15 beta running or not. So you have to say yes or no during the installation. I'm not sure if that means we need to reinstall them once Sim Update 15 comes out or not. We will find out. What's up, Madeline? You don't know how to fly a chopper? Yeah, me neither. Don't worry about it. Actually, if you want to jump in a helicopter, what you can do is go to the assistance options, load into like the Bell or the Cabri. Is it the G2? There are a couple of helicopters that come with Microsoft Flight Sim, and they're fine to get started. I mean, I don't have an opinion because I don't fly them often enough to know what's realistic, but if you go into the assistance options, just go down here to piloting, and they have specific assists here, right here, assisted tail rotor and assisted cyclic. Just turn both of these options on right here, and then load in and just fly around. Just think of it, I mean, you just use your throttle as normal to go up and down, and then you pitch forward or backwards to control whether you're moving forward or how you're moving laterally. So you pretty much just need to think of it opposite of a plane, where your throttle is controlling your altitude and your pitch up and down is controlling whether you're moving forward or backwards. I guess that's not 100% accurate because also in a plane, your throttle helps control your altitude, but anyway. Yeah, just try it out. Turn the assist options on. Okay, Lifetime Adventure says the Bell 407's easier. So yeah, grab the Bell 407, and we're coming up to MYXZ. This is Deepwater K. So if you want to load in there and join us and fly around, try it out. I'm also really bad at flying them. I just changed some settings though with the help of Jeff in chat. But you can always just turn on those assistance settings, and it makes it a lot easier. It's really fun to fly the helicopters just because you can't really get this slow in most planes. 100 knots, like you could maybe in like the Tomahawk or something like that. But right now I'm probably going like 60 knots or who knows. So it is really nice to fly a helicopter every now and then. Actually, I don't think I have live weather on because the weather was so bad earlier. Let me switch back to live weather. Oh nice, it is good now. I was on a preset, so I was not even battling wind, which is why it probably looked like I was flying okay. set your trim, kind of flies itself. Yeah, I think changing my propeller axis on my throttle quadrant to control the rotor trim is the way to go. It's probably going to be really hard to land because I'll need to change it often, but at least in flight, just being able to move that axis to control the rotor trim like this is really nice. Just got me flying nice and stable. But as soon as I get near the ground, it's going to be really bad, I think. To go back to the rudder pedals, and those are really challenging, so... Oh, Watercooled says, I'm making brisket, baked beans, corn on the cob, and hot rolls. I have no idea what a hot roll is, actually, but it's just a hot, soft bread roll? Like a biscuit? And that sounds so good. Where's the invitation? Done in an hour or so? Wish I could share it with everyone. Oh, we'll be there. We will be there. All right, let's see how it works with my rudder pedals in their wonky mode right now. Try to bring this thing down. Maybe I can get some of the dirt effects to show up too. The floating 730s, or is it a floating Airbus? I assume it's an Airbus. All right, watch my vertical speed. I know I'm supposed to fly along the runway first, but no, I'm a newbie. Still, after all this time. Yikes. Oh my god. I'm trying to do it with the axis actually. Okay, there we go. Ish. Yeah, but now it's gonna fly the complete opposite direction as soon as I get near the ground. This is the hardest part. It's crazy how prop or rotor wash works, or what is it? What is the, somebody was telling me like a while back when I was flying helicopters. I forget the terminology, but the way disturbing the air just like comes back over the prop again and like sucks it down like a vortex. Sorry, I'm just landing on somebody's plane here. If you can call it a landing. There we go. Oh, prop wash? Now, even when I'm landed, it's just spinning. Okay, there, I got it set. This actually has a parking brake in it, too. All right, that can... Yes. Look at that. Look at that smooth... It's landing right on top of me. Opening the first beer. Nice. Hey, Blue Ninja, what's up? Hot roll is like a small square of homemade bread. Oh, okay, yeah. Almost like the pack of Hawaiian rolls or whatever. Those kind of hot rolls. Those are so good. I'm sure it's better than those, but that's what I picture when I think about hot rolls. Yeah, I think without the dampener on the rudder pedals, it's even though it's a really neat idea to just take the spring out, just the way the pedals feel, they're not meant for that, so it's not smooth enough. All right, let's bring this thing up. Parking brake off. Oh, what's the 500E? Yes, this is what I look like. This is what I look like when I'm trying to land. The spins, it's impossible. I think it's just the right equipment will go a long way. Like the dead stick and the dead rudder pedals, having that set up probably makes it so much easier. All right, that was not too bad. Sweet rolls? Oh yeah, kind of like a Hawaiian roll. All right, onward. Oh, let me try that. Let me test out the dirt kicking up here. Oh, died on the wing strike? Yeah, definitely turn crash damage off in general. In general, it's just a good idea to have off in this sim, just because you can't recover from it. So, I mean, not, you know, some crashes you can recover from. But yeah, it's weird if you've ever like touched just the tip of your wing onto a building while you're taxiing or something, and it ends your whole flight after you put in the whole flight plan. It's such a pain. I'm gonna get out of control because I can't tell what I'm doing from that camera angle. All right, let me just go right from the back. See if we can get some of that dirt to kick up here. Man, how far forward do I have to pitch to stop moving? Oh, there it is. Yes. That is pretty awesome. Pretty detailed. All right, it is so hard to fly in third person. I don't like it at all. All right, Delta, good to see you in the sim, dude. Thanks for dropping by, man. We get to see you virtually for a little bit, so that was nice. I'll talk to you later. All right, to the northeast. This way. Don't follow me. I'll probably get off course. All right, try to get the speed up here. There we go. Get it trimmed out. I basically have I have my hat on my stick set for my trim, so I have latitudinal and longitudinal trim. Lateral trim, I guess you would say, and longitudinal trim set on the up, down, left, right on this hat. So it does make it pretty easy once you get it dialed in. And then yeah, the springless rudder pedal thing is weird, but it's definitely helping. There we go. Yeah, I just need to turn the rudder pedal sensitivity when I do it this way down to like negative 100% or something. Then it'll probably work out pretty well. Oh, how was my meeting with my friend from abroad? Oh, it was awesome. It was a long day and a long night, and I was very hungover that Saturday. Or was it Sunday? Sorry, it was on Sunday. So yeah, I didn't get a group flight in. Yeah, we went and saw some comedy, which was awesome. It was hilarious, and then we went out to a bar afterwards, and then hung out at our place for a bit. It was yeah, it was a long night, but it was a good time. All right, I think we're just going here to the northeast. I guess I could follow the shoreline over here. Hey Nick, what's up? How can you join? We just took off from MYXZ. We're on the USA West server. So if you set your multiplayer server to USA West, you should be able to find us. And I got the map in the bottom right corner, so you can see if you can zoom in on it or like enlarge it, or if you have a big enough monitor, maybe you can see what it says. But we just left Mike Yankee X-Ray Zulu, MYXZ. I'll just type it in the chat where we left, and we're on the way to MYAX. So I just put those codes in the chat. We're on USA West. Just messing around in some helicopters today. Oh, there's actually, it's got 2 pilots in there. I didn't even set them, did I? Okay, it's got like, I didn't realize it has like custom avatars. I wonder if it's got like an EFB or something to set how many passengers to show. I love the Helicopters for Dummies book. There's probably a ton of technology in this. I have no idea what any of it is. I just turned it on and just went. There's probably, maybe there's some automated systems or something in here that I don't know about. Fuel flow. I am totally off course. I'm going east. We're supposed to be going northeast. Let me see the camera presets. Maybe it'll give me some hints. We got a classic 530, 430. Sling. Oh, doesn't this have the, oh, how do I actually use this sling? I think it has like a water sling. You can like grab water like we did in the Chinook. Chinook? It seems weird saying Chinook, but I think that's the way you say it. I was saying Chinook the entire stream when I was flying it. Okay, these are the only camera presets. Yeah, there's only like 4 of them. I think there might be a way to deploy some kind of water sling. I'm surprised that there's not a camera preset that goes up here to the overhead panel. Instrument lights. What is this? I don't know what it is, but I'm just switching it. It's so hard to see the overhead panel. Fair AV. This is all in French, isn't it? Yeah, this is so different with the rudder trim. Just having the rudder trim axis set. This is insane. It feels like a totally different experience. When you get towards the ground, it's still absolutely chaotic, but that's where the real sim helicopter pilots shine. But at least in cruise, it doesn't feel as bad anymore. Gotta get towards Underdog so we can see the Chinook. Chinook. Up close and personal. Where'd he go? I lost him. Oh, Pryfly is also in the Chinook. Chinook? Oh, it's a salmon. Well, I didn't know that either. You know, I know Google exists and Wikipedia exists, and so does education. But I get all my information from YouTube chat. It's the only way I ever learn anything. Oh, he landed in the water. Is that what happened? Him and Pryfly are in like a formation flight right now. What are you guys doing down there? What are you, crazy? Can't land that thing in the water. What is going on right now? Why are they perfectly in sync? Are you multi-boxing? Do you have 2 computers flying 2 helicopters perfectly in sync at the same time? What is happening? I'm so confused. What is going on? They're moving like perfectly in sync. The Blue Angels of Chinook. No idea what's happening. I just wanted to fly next to him to take a look at his beautiful helicopter. And they're making their escape down to the surface of the ocean. I can take a hint. I'll leave you guys alone. All right, there we go. Back on course. Air show assistant, maybe. Hey, Abby. No, it's actually 2 people. Though my buddy Turk messaged me right before the stream saying that air show assistant thing got updated to allow you to have 7 in formation now total instead of 5. Guess they made an update to have even more planes. I wonder if they're gonna add. I've never used it, but do they have more than 1 formation? Can you choose like from? I assume you can choose from a ton of different formations. This is the boring open ocean part. I guess we could have followed the terrain up to the north, but it's fine. We'll make it. Oh, you're practicing low hovering? Yeah. You get all your info from Janet and Toby. All right, let's see what Janet has. Hey, Janet, can you tell me some fun facts about the Chinook helicopter? I'm sure she'll come up with some gems here. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Yeah, who needs Google, Wikipedia, college? We got Janet. We have Say Intentions. All right, Janet, let's go.
Oh, the Chinook helicopter. It's like a bus that got tired of sitting in traffic, so it grew rotors. It's a tandem rotor helicopter, which means it's got 2 sets of spinning blades, like a pair of ceiling fans stuck on a tin can. It was developed by American company Boeing Vertol in the early 1960s. People say it's named after the Native American Chinook people, but I reckon it's because it can blow our hat off from 100 feet away. It's mostly used for troop movement and cargo transport because it's got a belly big enough to swallow 2 family cars. My friend Toby, he once tried to use a Chinook to dry his laundry. Ended up scattering his underpants across half the county. Quite the spectacle that was.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, you know, she never fails to give us some legit information, dumb it down so even I can kind of understand it, and then give us an amazing story that we all asked for about Toby's underpants. It's just wonderful. What else could you ask for? Yeah. Her odd obsession about Toby. Yeah, it's funny. I just wish she didn't do a story every single time. It just doesn't become special, you know? If it's every single time, it'd be funny if, like, you know, there's like a 10% chance or something, or 5%. Let me tell you about my friend Toby, who's absolutely insane. Poor Toby. Toby's like the Donnie of Say Intentions. Donnie from The Big Lebowski. All Janet does is just tell embarrassing stories about him. I don't think she really likes him. Ask her which weighs more. Janet, what weighs more, a pound of feathers or a pound of lead? All right, she's gonna have to think about this one for a while. All right, Underdog has caught up to me. I can go creep on his beautiful helicopter. Man, that thing goes fast. I don't know if I can catch up, actually. Oh.
Well, it's a bit of a mind bender, isn't it? A pound of feathers and a pound of lead both weigh the same because they're both a pound.
Oh,
it's
she
like
got it.
asking what's heavier, a pound of past mistakes or a pound of missed opportunities.
Oh my
God. They both
God.
weigh down our soul the same, don't they? Speaking of weight,
Too
there's
real.
a naming tree at 10 o'clock, 18 kilometers away, heading 005. They say it's where you go to find out what our name really means, which is a bit late for most of us. My friend Toby went there once, hoping to discover his name meant brave warrior or something. Turned out it meant she, who get stuck in tree branches. He was up there for hours, dangling like a misplaced Christmas ornament. Quite the spectacle for tourists that day.
Underdog. Oh man, that got too real, Janet. Come on. Can't you just keep it light? She did say something about a wishing tree up ahead. Forgot the heading she gave us. That got existential. Yeah, that was a bit too deep, I think, for a Saturday group flight. Vomit comet with Underdog, yeah. This is why shared cockpit can't be a thing, Underdog. It's all your fault. If there are any Asobo devs watching or watching this in the future, don't get any ideas. Not all of us are like Underdog. Our passengers would have a fun time. Very safe flights. The tail rotor got stuck. Yep. I've heard every excuse in the book. All right, MYAX Spanish K Airport, 5 minutes ahead. This calls for a sip of coffee before I attempt another horrible landing. It's a good thing I got that mute button. I actually think for me, like with my configuration, maybe the best combo is to have the rudder pedals with the spring in them just for landing, even though it's kind of annoying to keep pushing against the tension, and then use the axis version for when we're in cruise. So I can just move it like this to straighten us out. Oops, other way. I should probably start slowing down a little bit. Alright, Spanish K. Oh my god, this section looks so good right now. It's beautiful. You know, Project Shorelines, that add-on that cleans up all the coastlines like this, got an update recently. I don't know exactly what the update did, but I mean, everything still looks really good compared to the default. I don't know, this area of the world might be, you know, the Bahamas might be pretty good since a lot of people like flying here. Underdog's down again, no. Yeah, imagine the trolling if you could be in a helicopter and then attach to another helicopter with like your tow line or whatever it's called. There could be so much trolling in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Or what if you could just join somebody's plane randomly as a passenger? Like any multiplayer flight, people could like open it up for the public to join in. So you're flying along and then all of a sudden you have a bunch of passengers like with avatars sitting behind you. I mean, they could do it with enough permissions, like enough permission settings, kind of like friends can join your, you know, certain games that you're playing. You can just open it up, like allow friends to join, that kind of thing. It could be pretty fun. It would be really cool if like imagine people that are really good at like formation flying or like people that do Blue Angel style stuff. They could actually invite people in. They could build a whole community event around their Discords and stuff where, you know, if they're really, really good at flying a specific plane, like virtual Blue Angels and stuff like that, they could just invite people to like join as passengers and fly along with them in the sim. Would be really cool. Instead of just like watching videos or streams of them, they could just be in there themselves. Look around, put on their VR headset, you know. Could be really, really cool. Oh, there's an increment tail rotor In settings, I don't know if I like it. Oh, maybe I should set... That's an interesting idea. Let me try that. You don't know if you like it? Maybe it's because if you can't switch it fast enough, maybe it's better than the axis. Maybe I should set my trim to that, or I have like a little thumb wheel. I have a little thumb wheel thing. It's almost like a mouse wheel on my stick. Maybe I could try that. I don't have it set to anything, it looks like. Rotor, tail rotor. It's probably just called rotor. Oh yeah, increment and decrement tail rotor. So right now my tail rotor axis is on my rudder pedals, and I also set it to one of my my axes on my throttle. I don't know, let me try it and see how it is. Oh yeah, so if I increment, it's pulling me to the right, and if I decrement, it's pulling me to the left. So it's almost like tail rotor trim stepping one at a time. I think my axis is probably messing with it right now, though. Oh, that's interesting. That might be a good way to do it. I'm gonna unbind what I have. Sorry, this is turning into a helicopter configuration stream. Let me unbind these then. Oh, that's throttle 2 axis. Wrong axis. This one. Whoa. Tail rotor axis. So I'll clear this, and then I'll clear the one from my MFGs as well. Oh, rudder axis. I wish I could. Maybe I'll just try to not touch them. Okay, and now I'll use that little mouse wheel thing on my stick to adjust the tail rotor. Yeah, it might be really hard to do it on landing. Well, I'm about to find out, I guess. Oh yeah, it keeps resetting it. All right, I'm gonna unplug. There, I just unplugged my rotor pedals, my rudder pedals. You have to be able to reset it, or you'll end up like me.
Kilometers away lies the Powell K Cliff, a place as mysterious as the Bermuda Triangle, but with fewer missing planes. Discovered by accident when a pirate tripped over a coconut, these cliffs have been standing tall since the Earth got bored of being flat. They're a hit with tourists who like to live on the edge, quite literally. My friend Toby once tried to impress a date by juggling coconuts there. He dropped more than just coconuts, if you catch my drift. Speaking of dropping, our altitude maintenance is almost as steady as Toby's dating life.
Jeez, give the guy a break. All right, let's try this here. Yeah, it is a little weird. But it is nice that it's basically sticky. I mean, this is almost like the dead stick version, but you're using button presses instead. So it kind of makes sense. So once you get it kind of set, you just leave it there. I don't know, that's not too bad so far. We'll see how bad it is when I get lower to the ground. Thanks for calling that out, Underdog. That's kind of neat. Let's see here. Yeah, so every time I need to change the nose, I'm just clicking my little mouse wheel, thumb wheel, left and right. Holy, this is so good. What? Did I just get lucky? What? That was so much better. Why are we drifting backwards, though? What is happening? Is this the reset? Uh-oh. Why is it going backwards? I'm not even hitting anything. Maybe it's just my trim. It was probably my regular trim. That was pretty good, actually. All right, Underdog. I think that might be my setting that I want to use. I mean, I luckily have like a little mouse wheel thing on my left hand, so it makes it really easy just because of my hardware. Like, that's probably not going to be the case for everybody. That was pretty neat. Step on the brakes. Oh yeah, I did the parking brake. So the brakes. Okay. I don't really know what the brakes do. I trust you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's fix that. There we go. And this is basically just setting a trim button for the tail rotor. Whoa, dude. All right, let's calm it down there, aerodynamics. Yeah, this is kind of the dead stick feel without having the hardware set up to do the dead stick. This is much more. I don't know. This feels pretty good. It's a little awkward how I'm doing it with my hand, I guess, instead of pedals. But reset all trim on landing. Okay, I do have a button for reset trim. If I hit it now, things are gonna go crazy. Oh no, I did. I think I already did it. Yeah, I did it after I landed though, and that's why we were flying backwards. This is kind of nuts. So if you guys didn't catch what setting Underdog just said, there's a trim tail rotor increment and decrement setting, and basically now every time if I use the increment one, it's turning me this way to the right. So if I keep pushing it that direction, it's going to turn me. Now if I want to straighten out, I just roll it the other direction, use the decrement until it's kind of stable. So it's separate from your latitude, from your lateral and longitudinal trims. But I just happen to have another thing. Like if you have multiple hats on your stick, you could set one to this. That's pilot error. I'm pulling it the wrong direction. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Because if you do it slowly and just, it's kind of like set and forget, especially in cruise. Nice. The brakes only work for wheeled helicopters. This one did do something when I hit the brakes. I don't know why. It's probably not meant to. Pretty neat. All right, it has us going to the south now. Southeast to Miat. That's pretty cool. Yeah, this is like the poor man's helicopter rudder pedals. Pretty nice. I think now I just need to like get used to using this next to my trim button and just balancing them. It's pretty interesting. Cool stuff. All right, we're headed to the southeast to Miat. Nice. I'm pretty stoked. This is cool. I mean, you don't have like a super precise amount of changes you can make since it's like acting like a button press. So if you hit it one way and it's too much and then you hit it again and it's too little, then you might not be able to find that in-between setting that you could with something more precise like good rudder pedals or using one of your axes. Definitely less squirrely doing this though. That's pretty neat. Yeah, I should probably set, there's also a button I could set. I can push this mouse wheel too. It's pretty much a mouse wheel on my thumb, on my stick. So I could set the push. Okay, I have it set to, that's where my auto throttle setting is, but I could set that to tail, to rotor trim reset. What is button 14? Oh, I have that. This is my trim reset button. So that's probably a bad idea. Yeah, that was resetting my rotor trim. Okay, let me clear and set that to the wheel button instead. All right, and then I could set something else for the other trim resets. Pretty cool. Let's go. Back to our 100-knot flight. Michael says, I figured out why I'm getting random frame drops. Laptop has a 3050. 84 degrees Celsius. I don't know anything about the mobile graphics cards and how hot they run, but I assume that's hotter than normal. I think my 4080, I don't think it gets hotter than like 70 degrees Celsius maybe. It's usually under that because I just run it pretty cool and limit my frame rate. Is it just an airflow thing? Do you need like one of those cooler, like a laptop cooler pad to put it on? Oh my god, the water looks so good right now.
Powell Bay Cliff, 12 o'clock, 2 kilometers, heading 145. Discovered by a man who probably got lost looking for the bathroom. These cliffs are a marvel of erosion, like a cake left out
Cliffs?
of the room, only less tasty. Tourists.
Where does Janet think we are?
Pondering life's big questions.
I'm gonna ask her where.
Like why we don't just
where
live
she thinks we
underwater
are,
like
because
the
she's
fish.
talking
My
about
friend
cliffs,
Toby
and this
once
is
tried
all
to answer
very
that by
flat.
Camping on the cliff.
That is
Wolfside,
normal temp for a
surrounded by
laptop
eagles
GPU.
Who'd stolen his trousers. Quite the spectacle.
Dude, this setting is changing my helicopter life right now. Thanks, Jeff and Underdog, for the info for the settings. I don't feel nearly as scared. Still a little scared, but maybe a little more confident. Hey, Janet, where do you think we are in the world right now? I want to see what she says, because she's talking about cliffs, and I don't think there are any cliffs around here. Not at all. Man, I just got this thing trimmed out. Is this what it's like to be a real helicopter pilot? It's crazy. All right, Janet, tell us where let's see where she thinks we are. I think she doesn't know where we are.
We're hovering over the Bahamas, specifically near Cooperstown. It's a place where the sea is as clear as the history is murky.
Well, she knows we're in the Bahamas,
my
so.
friend Toby, who's always been a bit too adventurous for his own good, decided to explore a blue hole at 3 o'clock, 5 kilometers away, heading 210. He thought it was a good idea to dive without a guide. Ended up discovering his fear of the dark, the hard way. Blue holes, they say, are like gateways to the inner earth. A bit like Toby's open-mouthed expression when he resurfaced, realizing he wasn't alone down there. Turns out, fish are as curious about Tobies as Tobies are about blue holes.
More Toby stories. We need more. Oh yeah, laptop GPUs aren't as powerful. They don't have the power available. Oh yeah. Desktop GPUs pull hundreds of watts. Yeah, and I assume like the airflow is also a big deal too, right? Just because everything, all the components are so compact inside a laptop. Someday we'll have the technology where the system on a chip stuff is just so insane. That's something that's pretty cool about Apple laptops, is just all the system on a chip things they have, like the M1. They just came out with the M4, I think. So over a longer period of time, I think you're just gonna, it's just one chip. It's storage, memory, CPU, and GPU all on one chip. It's pretty insane. The tech sounds so cool, but you know, none of us are gaming on a Mac, really. Oh, I see Abby back there. Did you get in a helicopter? What's the AV8B? I have to look up these every time. AV8B. Oh, a Harrier. Abby's in the Harrier. Jules says desktops GPUs have coolers that weigh more than laptops. I guess that'll do it. It's pretty impressive though, like how, I don't know how good the laptops run, but I know there are so many different gaming laptops you can get now. And pretty often you'll see people playing Microsoft Flight Sim on them. Like on Reddit, you'll see people posting photos of their setup, you know, it's just like a laptop and a flight stick on like a little tiny wooden table or something. It's like, that is so cool. That's how minimal it can be. It's nice having my rudder pedals disconnected again. I wonder if I should try the same thing with rudder trim. Putting it on this little mouse wheel like for a fixed wing. Could be interesting. It's gonna take some getting used to for sure, but oh, it's beautiful. Oh my God, let me get a screenshot. Look at us. I'm not even touching my stick right now. No clouds in the sky is the only downside. All right, let's bring the map back up, or I have no idea where we're going. What's my average speed? We're at like 150 kilometers per hour, so what is that, like 70, 80 knots, something like that? No time to be touching your stick. This almost looks like a Microsoft Flight Sim screenshot looking down. Whoever's in that plane below me, like flying over the beach. Oh, it's Lacey. This is pretty cool. I don't know why my map didn't bring its points back up. Oh, it's the south, that's why. I'm in the wrong spot. We need to go south. All right, I'll make the turn over there. I think what might make more sense is for me to put the rotor trim instead of the lateral trim on the same one. So I should have pitch up and down, and then the rotor trim left and right. Because I'm not really using the lateral trim very much. And it would feel more natural, I think, to have them all on the same stick, the same hat. So if I push left, it turns left and right. I'm going to do that right now, actually. Let's see how this goes. So on my hat, I'm just going to look up all the trim. Helicopter trim. Whoops. Control trimming. So rotor longitudinal trim. Yeah, so I want to leave longitudinal trim, and then rotor lateral trim is what I'm going to get rid of for now. Rotor trim reset, and then rudder trim left and right. Okay, rudder trim left and right is fine since we're not in a plane. Yeah, lateral trim here, gone. And now I'm going to move the rotor trim to the other trim. Where is it? All. Isn't it just called rotor trim? Oh, increment and decrement tail rotor. Okay, so this is I'm gonna put left instead of basically replacing this with my rudder trim. So increment tail rotor and decrement tail rotor are left and right on the hat. And then my longitudinal trim is up and down on the hat. And then for now, I'm going to leave and then rotor trim reset is going to be pushing that same hat that the other ones are on. Rotor trim reset. Okay, let's try this. So right now I don't have the lateral trim available. But I think this is going to feel more natural as I have it backwards. Oops, got to flip them. So increase and decrease are flipped. Oops, wrong field again. Rotor trim. So increment should be right and decrement should be left. That makes sense. Okay, there we go. Sorry, back in the settings. All right, now I just have that one hat
just off to our 1 o'clock,
to handle my up down and then my rotor left and right.
A little slice of land. It's like a biscuits in it. It's a tourist attraction, but it's not got a name, which is a bit like having a dog and calling it dog. People go there to enjoy the sun, sea, and the company of swimming pigs, which is a bit like a bath. Now my friend Toby, he once tried to start a piggyback race with the swimming pigs there, ended up inventing a new sport, swimming piggyback, which unsurprisingly didn't catch on. Probably because the pigs weren't
Swimming
too keen on the
piggyback?
idea of a human backpack. And speaking of navigation, you're doing a splendid job keeping us as level as a pancake in a pancake eating contest. Not that I know much about flying, but if I did, I'd say you're doing it just right.
Wow, thanks, Janet. Incredible. All right, I'm gonna make my way to this airport finally. Treasure K, MYAT. Yeah, I don't know that I need the lateral trim or not. So this is working pretty good for the newbie. So now I can just, yeah, use my trim as if it's elevator trim for up and down for the longitudinal. And if I need to swing left and right, I just do that with the, instead of rudder pedals. Kind of nice. I could maybe even put it on like the joystick one. I don't know if that would trigger as a button. I don't know. This is pretty nice. Oh, Underdog, you never use lateral trim? Yeah, it seems maybe a little advanced for me anyway, since I'm such a noob. I wouldn't know what to do with it if I had it. I was using it as if it was rudder trim, and I don't think I was doing myself any favors by using it, so... oh, Fish is here. Fish, first message of the stream. Fish says, did anyone get to see the Aurora Borealis in the States? I saw some pictures. Who posted them on Discord yesterday? If you go to the real life images, yeah, it was Raccoon. Raccoon posted a bunch of photos. Northern Lights, the Southern Magnetic Storm. Pretty amazing. I don't know if he touched those up or not, but the colors are absolutely crazy. Looks so cool. Watercooled says, if I ever get say intentions, I'm going to mess with Janet so much. It's pretty fun that you can kind of ask her anything. Hey, Janet, did you hear about the Aurora Borealis in the south of the U.S. yesterday? I'm actually just curious how much information she has about like current events. Maybe none. And she was talking about our flight, saying it was smooth, but I don't know if she's actually getting any of the like telemetry from the sim. That would be pretty cool. I've been here for 45 minutes. Have I not read any of your chat messages, or have you just not been typing? Am I a horrible person?
The Aurora Borealis. That's like the sky having a neon party, isn't it? It's usually at the poles, but sometimes it pops down south to surprise us, like a celestial strippergram. Speaking of surprises,
what?
There's a blue hole at 2 o'clock, 7 kilometers away, heading 320. It's a watery abyss that's both terrifying and beautiful.
Oh, we should go look at that. Heading 320?
Or our ability to keep this helicopter steady. My mate Toby...
Oh, she knows we're in a helicopter.
There, but he only had a bathtub plug on a string for safety. Needless to say, he's not allowed near water without adult supervision now.
Well, she knows we're in a helicopter, which is kind of surprising. I didn't even know she would know that. Oh, I'm not reading your messages? Oh my god, I'm sorry. I am the worst. I'm sorry. Is it that you're not typing, or am I just a big jerk? And I guess the answer was the latter. Okay, and then I reset the trim. Oh my god, that was kind of good. That was kind of okay, I think. I think that helped so much. I'm gonna go cry in the shower. No, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Sorry about that, Fish. Has Janet ever... I don't even know what that is. Maybe I should, or maybe I shouldn't know what that is. Whatever she's talking about. Yeah, I don't know what a strippergram is, but I can only imagine. All right, that was a pretty smooth touchdown. Now let's do a horrible takeoff. Whoops, not enough power. Yeah, this increment, decrement, lateral trim is so good. I just put it on one hat for left and right to just counteract the rotation. It's so good. And And now I'm just using the up and down trim to do the nose, like just like I would in a plane, essentially. Dude, this makes it so much easier. All right, let's go to the southeast. Actually, she said what, heading 350? Hey, Janet, can you direct us how to get to the blue hole you've been talking about? Oh, it's when someone sends a stripper. I was thinking of Instagram. They send a stripper to your house. It's not done anymore. Okay, she said I think she said 350. Fish is asking, does BATC tell you when to start descending? I don't think so. Only if you're on a star. I'm pretty sure you still have to call for descent every time, which I always forget to do. Oh, Janet hasn't... Oh, here we go.
It's like looking for a giant watery pupil in the ocean's eye. Head 335.7 kilometers from our current position.
335.7 kilometers.
The kind that makes you wonder if the Earth is trying to drain itself. Discovered by people who probably regretted not bringing snorkels. It's a favorite for divers who like to explore the deep blue.
All right, there's a blue hole at 335.
Because there's not much down there. My friend Toby once tried to impress a date by diving in. He resurfaced.
Of course he did.
Claiming he'd found Atlantis. Turned out, it was just his own reflection. Much like our navigation skills, it's surprisingly easy to find, once you know where to look.
All right, 335. Let's see if we can actually see this thing. All right, here's like 330. Maybe a little more to the left. She said 7 kilometers, 335. Wait, that was right near the other airport, wasn't it? I just want to see if we can actually see something that she's calling out, because, I mean, I think we're just at the whim of the sim. Like, if there's nothing... If there's nothing modeled in the sim there, we're obviously not going to see anything, but she's been talking about the blue hole for like an hour. All right, Janet, how far away is the blue hole from us now? This better be the coolest thing we've ever seen. Yeah, bachelor party, I definitely have, definitely have seen like photos of stuff like that before.
The blue hole, a gaping void in the ocean. That's like the sea suddenly decided to drain itself.
Yes, yes.
It's just 4 kilometers away at 1 o'clock, heading 350. It's a watery abyss that's
okay, heading 350.
Probably since water thought
1
it was
o'clock?
a good idea to start collecting.
Wait, heading 350 is slightly to our left, isn't it?
Into the unknown.
Oh, no, I'm looking at the compass. All right, 350 is to our right.
Once tried to count how
Okay, 1
deep it
o'clock
was
is
by dropping
correct.
stones and listening for the plop. He's still there listening because the plop never came. It's that deep.
I mean, it looks like it's like right out here somewhere, maybe. Good save, seen it in photos. I haven't even really been to a bachelor party. Have I ever been to a bachelor party? I don't think that I have. I actually had some of my close friends got married like throughout COVID. So they just ended up not having bachelor parties, or they were very small, like, and yeah, I'm trying to think, like, even my best friends. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been to a bachelor party. Look down? Am I missing something? Janet, where's the blue hole now? She said 4 kilometers. It must be like right in front of us. Is that it right there? Oh, you were below me. Need a glass bottom helicopter.
Blue hole, 11 o'clock, 7 kilometers.
7?
320. It's a watery pit of mystery, like a bath without a plug.
320.
Discovered by fish, probably. And divers love it because it's wetter than a weekend in Wales. My mate Toby, He once tried to snorkel there with a straw.
I don't know that we're actually going to see it.
But it was just
We just flew this whole section and didn't see it. So if it's up the coast... Yeah, she said heading 320. Which is right up the coast. We just flew past this. Alright, I think we're gonna turn back around. I don't know, like we just flew this whole section. I didn't notice anything crazy, so it's probably gonna be underwhelming. I'm abandoning. Going to the next airport. MYAM. It's gonna take forever to get there too. Well, she said it was 7 kilometers, then she said it was 4, and then when I asked again, she said it was another 7. So I'm wondering if there's just like tons of them. Maybe we'll see one on the way. I want to practice more landings anyway. Actually, now that I have a little better control over this thing, let me get back down to the water a little bit. Marcellus, it's part of Flow. It's I have it linked in the video description actually. It's from Parallel 42, and it's part of that whole tool set called Flow. There's like an extra map. There's a bunch of really cool tools. Flying like a real helicopter pilot, yeah, with all the cheat codes turned on. Oh, there we go. We're getting a little bit of wake. Yeah, having that like changed my life, that setting. I actually can fly around a little bit now, Underdog, thanks. Hey, doing it the normal rudder pedal way with the spring action rudder pedals is impossible. Oh! Nobody saw anything? Don't worry about it. Yeah, I feel like if I knew that from day one to use those settings, my experience in flying helicopters would have been much happier. Instead of just feeling like I'm absolutely horrible at it. Just taking advantage of all the trims. Alright, we're just gonna head southeast. It looks like MYAM. Yeah, Marcelo, the Flow app is really cool. It's got a ton of features in it, like the nameplates. All the nameplates are from it as well. And it's got this radial menu, and you can set up all sorts of stuff. Like the weather overlay is also really cool. You can just see the live pressure and wind, and it visualizes it. And then you can click at the bottom to change. It's got a ton of features. It's great. It's got to be one of the best, like, probably is the best, like, utility app. And yeah, on the map, you can, like, turn on to see your friends. Anybody on your friends list will show up. You'll see their names. Also pretty cool. I think it's $15 in the marketplace. 15 US dollars. What's up, Turk? Turk, did you finally escape from Star Citizen? For you Star Citizen fans, I'm sure you know that the big patch just went live yesterday. It's pretty cool. Have to go and earn some money tonight running cargo or something on Star Citizen, but they released a major patch they've been working on for like 6 months. So it is going a little crazy. I don't know what's up with the stutters right now in Flight Sim though. We are stuttering like crazy. Look at these stutters. I wonder if it's being caused by the multiplayer thing. Oh, it is. Look at that. Okay, no stutters right now. And because there are so many of us here, if I turn on the multiplayer button on the Flow map, watch. Stutter, stutter, stutter. There it is. Yeah, that's what's causing it. So if you guys are stuttering and you're using Flow, Turn off the multiplayer thing. And now look, stutters are gone. All right. Good to know. Don't turn that on ever again. Watercooled says, I'll have to watch the stream back later to see what you changed for the helicopter trims. Oh yeah, you can actually just rewind right now until you see me in the settings menu. That's what's something that's amazing about YouTube. During the live stream, you can just rewind it right now and watch that and then click live to jump back to live. But yeah, it's just called increment and decrement rotor trim. So basically how most people are flying the helicopters and how I was flying them is you're using your rudder pedals if you have them like you would fly a plane. And the problem with that is that they return to center, right? So I guess what Jeff was talking about earlier in the chat is that real rudder pedals on a helicopter, they don't pull back to the center, and neither does the stick. When you move the stick and let go, it stays in the position you moved it to. So they're like dead sticks and dead rudder pedals. But most of us that, we're not set up to fly helicopters, ours return to center when we let go of them. So that's what makes it returning to center is what makes it so hard to fly a helicopter in the sim. Because generally you want to set those pedals and the stick in the correct position to have it flying straight and level and not be rotating. And then you just don't touch it unless it needs adjustment. So it's almost like a trim system more than it is just a traditional stick or yoke auto centering. So what I did was I have a hat on my stick that goes, up, down, left, and right. So I set up and down as my longitudinal trim, which is basically your elevator trim up and down. So that's what my up and down does. And then I set left and right. Instead of having an axis for the rudder pedals, I just unplug my rudder pedals for now. And instead of an axis for this, I set it to increment and decrement rotor. Is it just rotor? Increment rotor and decrement rotor. So if I hit left on my hat, watch, the pedal is going to move left and then stay there. So now I'm spinning to the left. And if I hit right on my trim, it's going to push the right pedal. But when I let go, it stays there. So it's basically giving me that dead stick. And thanks to Underdog for telling me that setting was there. It's basically just giving me the option to trim. I'm trimming the rudder pedals. So if you're spinning out of control like this, it's constantly pulling you to the right. Like this. All I'm doing is holding left on my hat, and that's going to move the rudder pedals and leave them there until I counteract that spin, and I'm just leaving it. So it's just like trimming it with one hat, left and right for the rudder pedals, and up and down for the longitudinal trim, which is kind of like the elevator trim in a plane. And then you have your throttle separately from that to control your altitude. But I mean, I just made this change, 20 minutes ago, and it's incredible. It just works for me. I don't know it'll necessarily be good for you. I think Underdog said he didn't like it.
So Windward Point is like a
but for me, it's working pretty well.
Sitting there at 12 o'clock,
definitely flying better than I was before
away,
changing it. So
heading 190.
yeah, not using the rudder pedals like they're set up for a plane and auto centering and setting it to an axis seems to be way better.
Now, Windward Point is
unless you're willing to like turn your rudder pedals into a dead stick version. But I just tried that with mine by removing the spring. Not a great result. And same with the stick. Like, I don't really want to mess with my stick right now to hold it in a certain position by tightening it, so I'm also just leaving it alone. I'm just doing everything through the trim.
He once tried to use Windward Point as
all right, Janet, that's enough. Anyway, yeah, this is working much better for me. Beldelin, what's going on? Hi from Germany. How's it going? Watercooled says, since I have to twist my joystick for my rudder. Yeah, so I would unbind the twist axis when you're flying a helicopter. Just unbind it or make a new profile for helicopters. And then use your hat switch for increment and decrement rotor. An elevator trim, yes. So if you want to try the way I'm doing it, I have longitudinal rudder trim or longitudinal trim, rotor trim up and down on the up and down part of my hat, kind of like elevator trim. And then instead of left and right can be left on rudder trim because it doesn't have an effect in the helicopter, or at least it shouldn't. Instead, I have left and right on the same hat doing the rotor. It's just called increment and decrement rotor. Just going to double check to make sure. Decrement tail rotor. So decrement tail rotor is left and increment tail rotor is right. And so when you do it, that's just changing the pedals. This is right, this is left. And when I let go, it stays there as if we have like actual helicopter rudder pedals. I guess that's how they behave too. I had no idea. And I'm going the wrong direction as usual. Jules says, without rudder pedals, I think I just use the assists. Yeah, true. Difficult with stick twist. Yeah, I would unbind the stick twist because it's basically as hard as using the rudder pedals at auto center. Like you have to hold it the entire time, which I guess is not how they work in real life. So yeah, it makes no sense to have any auto centering anything on a helicopter. Like even the stick, like it's not too bad. It is auto centering, but because of the trimming I'm doing, it's making it bearable. But yeah, I think that's a legit option is just turn on the assists. Never got controls in heli. Yeah, I'm just kind of figuring it out right now, but yeah, essentially everything is a trim or a dead stick. You're never holding anything left, right on the, in a certain direction on the stick or on the rudder pedals. They're all dead. So when you move them, they stay there. The pedals and the stick should stay there when you move it there. But yeah, the way I'm just doing it through trim right now. So the stick is not realistic because it is auto centering itself, but this is still working just fine for me. Elevator trim is the elevator trim up and down is essentially the longitudinal rotor trim. So if I want to point up and I push down on my hat, it's pitching it up like this. So yeah, you set that to longitudinal rotor trim. And then to counteract the tail rotor, you just set tail rotor increment and decrement so you can counteract the spin. And that's doing a lot for me. And then you just use the throttle as normal to control your altitude. So the more throttle you give it, obviously you pitch the nose down and then you'll move forward. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Thank you, Underdog. All right, I had to turn off Janet. She was getting on my nerves a little. We'll bring her back now and see if she calms down a bit. Have to do it this evening. Yeah, I mean, this is a great change for me, and I know it's still not totally accurate. Like, I should try the dead stick thing sometime. If I flew helicopters a lot, I would definitely try to configure my stick to be more of a dead stick. That would probably also help a lot. But like, I can just set and forget it now. This is just, it's so nice. I mean, you can see that we're tilted though. I think this is where this is the one trim that I don't have set is the latitude trim. So I'm guessing if I use that, like since we're flying all sideways like this, I mean, I guess actually this is just because of the wind. I think the slight tilt is probably for the lateral trim, which I'm not using. But yeah, this is good enough for a noob. And yeah, the wind is pretty strong from the right. Yeah, pretty cool. All right, we're coming up on Marsh Harbor next. Time to play with some more of the sim effects. It's going to be really different once Sim Update 15 comes out. We'll be able to see all these effects in multiplayer. I didn't even realize that that the effects are only for me right now. Yeah, longitudinal rotor is pitch, lateral is roll, and rudder is anti-torque yaw. Yep. Yeah, I haven't set the lateral one. Seems to be okay without it for now. I'm not flying as good, like as level as I could be if I set it. But yeah, for now this is still a huge improvement. Until then. Just seeing the effects, you know? Yeah, the wake effect is pretty cool. Yeah, I guess I would set another hat to do the lateral. Just so I could level it out. But this stick is... Yeah, just using this stick for that is not too bad. Can't crash in water. Oh, you can. I just have crash damage off. I would recommend to everybody to have crash damage off. Kip on the water, new channel. Someday. Alright, next airport's right over here, Marsh Harbor. Yeah, I feel like my helicopter ability just like went up 10x. It was very, very bad, so it's not actually a huge gain. But I definitely, yeah, I'm pretty stoked. All right, Marsh Harbor. Next up, try another landing.
If you look to our 10 o'clock at about 3 kilometers, you'll see the shimmering mermaid reef. It's a bit like a watery garden if you think about it, but instead of gnomes.
The shimmery mermaid reef?
Discovered by humans when they first realized they could stick their heads underwater without dying immediately. It's become a place where snorkelers and divers go to pretend they're friends with the fish. Now my mate Toby, he once tried to start a conversation with the parrotfish there. He was convinced it winked at him. Turned out, it was just trying to spit sand out of its mouth. Toby's never been great with social
I guess she's talking about this area right here.
Underwater.
Oh, this is awesome. Yeah, if it wasn't copyrighted. Airwolf Show theme music. I don't know that. I don't know that song, but yeah, I would play so many copyrighted songs if I was able to, and I wouldn't get struck by YouTube. I think the worst that'll probably happen is that they just like demonetize the stream replay, which doesn't matter because it's worth like 2 cents or something. But the thing I worry about is the strike system. Just because if you get 3 strikes, they delete your channel, and I don't want to play with fire. Twitch is such the Wild West where like everybody just plays whatever they want. Like to play something copyrighted and get copyright struck over and over again because you played like 20 seconds of a song or something. Ugh. I'm not risking my channel doing that. No way. I have to start all over. If they even allow you to start all over. Like, I don't know if they ban you from making more channels. Oof. And the water effects are pretty good. Oh, look how long the like wake lasts too. From the landing, it's all like spreading out. That's pretty neat. Yeah, this is gonna be really cool. Sim update 15 can't come soon enough. Landed like I was in a plane. I can't help it. Watercooled says I got copyrighted for an F1 race video from the F1 game. I think when I played the Dune expansion, it did a copyright infringement warning thing or whatever. When the music is actually in the sim, like, it's so weird to play a game that has music in it. I didn't like, you know, play it from Spotify or something. It was in the sim for the Dune expansion, and yeah, got a copyright thing for it because of that. Super weird. And it wasn't like a strike, it was just like a, you know, demonetized or whatever. But it's funny when that happens, when it's actually in the game or in the software and you get in trouble for it. All right, let's try another landing here. There's like a fine balance between pretending like you're an airplane and like flying over the runway like you're supposed to, I think, and then being able to hover and actually land it normally instead of just like, yeah, splashing in like I just did. Yeah, the wind is no joke right now too. It's like gusting 20 from the right. GTA uses actual songs, yeah. Trippy to stream. They probably turn the music off or, yeah. Cease and desist from EA Sports, and I was like, you put the music in the game? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's so weird. What server? USA West. All right, let me try this again. I know I'm supposed to come in over the runway, but, you know, that's what professionals do, so. Definitely. I'm just so high because I don't know when to start pulling the power out. Pull it out way too late. Guess I should be using the Toby while I'm landing like this. It's kind of helpful. Uh-oh. Oof. 300 feet per minute. Yeah, if I hit the brakes, it actually stops me on the ground. It's really weird. I'm in somebody else's plane. Whoa, whoa now. Okay, okay. Yeah, if I reset the rotor trim, I start spinning, so I have to have it set a little bit, looks like, to one direction. All right, now we're supposed to go to the west. Yeah, I got a lot of work to do if I'm ever going to land decently. Whoa. The weirdest thing is how it'll go from like 100% left to 100% right while you're taking off. Like, I didn't even touch anything. It's crazy. Why? Now it's the opposite. I'm just tapping it too. That is so crazy. Tap, tap to the right, tap to the right, tap to the left. It's so easy to just get it completely out of control. How do you turn off the wind streamlines? It's under assistance options. It's a little buried. Go to assistance and then user experience down here. This first one right here, aerodynamic visualization. Turn that to off. The rotor's spinning, yeah. Oh, look, once again, I didn't change anything. Now we're spinning in circles. That's crazy. Maybe it reset it when I went into my settings. I'm literally not touching anything. It just stabilized on its own. Okay. Interesting. All right, I guess we're good. Nope. Nope, now it's just turning left. Yeah, I think it's just the longer you stay in one spot, the rotor wash or the vortex or whatever. The torque effect. There's just so much that, yeah, so much that can happen, I guess, closer to the ground. Hovering low to the ground just sounds absolutely impossible. All right, to the west we go.
Oh, by the way, if you take a glance off to our 3 o'clock, roughly 3 kilometers away, you should stop the Ocean View Cultural
My
Park.
left arm is,
It's quite the
my shoulder is
cultural
definitely
hotspot.
feeling it
Reminds me a
already.
bit of my buddy
How long
Toby's
has it been?
dating
2
history.
hours?
Eclectic, and to be honest, a bit puzzling. Anyway, the park's
Landing
attribute
in,
to the
oh,
local
into
art
the
scene
wind is easier?
history.
Yeah,
Kind of like that
that
time.
makes sense too.
Toby unintentionally became part of an apartment.
I'm happy with the little
It's a
progress
popular
I've made
spot for visitors.
thanks to the control
Eager to dive
changes,
into
but yeah,
Bahamian
it's
traditions.
a
Or
lot to
just
get used
catch some
to.
rays,
It's
like
fun to hop in a
Toby did,
helicopter every now and then, though.
discovered sunburn in places he wished he hadn't. Definitely a place where you can see history blend with the present, and also where Toby bumped into what's her name, his future ex. Definitely worth checking out if you're into a slice of history with your vacation, or if you fancy a chuckle at Toby's expense. There's always something going on.
Which is
with
all
that guy.
Janet talks about. Everything's at poor Toby, aka Donnie's, expense. Yeah, this is definitely an arm workout too. Way so much more compared to flying a plane. Janet's just a bully. Oh, you think Janet likes Toby? We should ask her. Hey Janet, do you secretly have a crush on Toby? There we go, we'll find out what she says. We're getting to the important things in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Asking about the relationships of our AI counterparts, our AI controllers and tour guides. This is the end game of Microsoft Flight Simulator, is talking to your
Crush on
passengers.
Toby? No. He's more like a walking disaster. Speaking of disasters, did
She
you
does.
know Carter's Cay at hour 10 o'clock is a place where history and mystery collide? It's like the Bermuda Triangle. People go there to feel the sand between their toes and forget their troubles. Unless you're Toby. He went there once, tried to impress some locals with his conch-blowing skills, and ended up inhaling a hermit crab. As for our flying, it's like watching a pelican gracefully skim the water, except with more engine noise and less fish catching.
Yeah, I think you're right. Janet likes Toby. It's like the high school thing, the immaturity thing to just make fun of the person you like. I think you're right. I think we're onto something here. We're uncovering the lore of Janet and Toby. We thought we were just going to fly around the Bahamas today, but it's gotten so much more dramatic than that. This is why we sim. This is why we do it. Forget IFR and charts. It's about the AI relationships with other AI. You're out of your element, Toby. Exactly. I do see the irony in this saying air fast when I'm going about 60 knots. The headwind is not helping right now anyway. Okay, maybe we're at like 100 knots. Ah, nice chill song time. Oh, am I running out of fuel? Uh-oh. Ah, there we go. A little quick start. Think we're gonna be okay? Maybe? Oh, it's back. There we go. I can hear it. I can hear it spooling back up. All right, we're good. Right. Fuel. Could have practiced auto rotation. I don't know how to practice that. It kind of scares me. So is that just the auto, just the how the prop or how the rotor will just keep going just because of the physics of the wind? Yeah, it sounds terrifying. No Mayday song applies today, does it? I think it definitely would, but actually I don't even know where to cut off the... I have to look for the fuel cutoff. Rotor brake? Wait, does that work when I hit the... What happens when I hit my brakes? I don't think it does anything unless we're on the ground. But what does rotor brake do? Wait, is it just holding us steady? Is this, am I breaking it by doing this? It just stops the rotation while we're in the air. It's probably a thing only to use on the ground. Oh yeah, rotor brakes for use on the ground. I'm sure that's fine. What is this? Opens a canopy, maybe? I know we have doors in this. How have I not played with the doors yet? Oh, there we go. I wonder if there's a doorless model. Oh, there is. Oh, you can take the doors off. Ah, nice. There we go. I'm way off again. Totally off course. I mean, it's fine. It's pretty here. It's cool you can just pull the doors off, though. Oh, no. How do I close it, though? That's the problem. It's like... Oh, that's kind of terrifying. There we go. I guess that's how we close it. Ah, much better. Huh. Oh, I can click that one through the window. Okay. Alright, water cool. Take it easy. Time for dinner. Sounds so delicious. Enjoy your brisket. I am being hunted by a Chinook. Oh no. Chinook down. And back up. It's very bouncy. It's very safe. Planes have helicopters and... Or planes have parachutes and helicopters just have big bouncy buoys or something on the bottom. So when they hit the ground, they just bounce back up into the air. Just like this, but make them like 20 times bigger. It's like giant yoga balls on the bottom of the helicopter as a safety measure. Hit the ground, it'll just bounce straight back up every time, 100% of the time. Innovation. Need to close these if I'm going to take screenshots. All right, now we're off course, probably. Oh man, all right, we're gonna cross open water again for a while to Bahamas Island. Oh man, there are a lot more after this. I don't know, I think this is like a 4-hour trip, so we'll just, we'll stop when we hit like the 3-hour mark. Give it like another 40 minutes or so. Do a few more landings. Call it a day. We got Star Citizen to play today, so it's very important. Man, we have a huge group again. There's so many of us. You love to see it. Star Citizen, really? Yeah, yeah. It got a huge patch. 3-hour tour. Yeah, Star Citizen, I don't play it all that often. Some of my friends play it like all the time, but I just get bored. But they did make a really big patch that came out last night.
You'll see Carter's Cave, a tiny speck in the Abacos, where the sands
There's
are
not really much more to do though. Like it's still the same types of missions, but
It said that Carter's Cave was
they've changed some
by
things.
accident
But
when a
I'm
pilot
gonna
mistook it for a giant sandbar.
not enough
It's
time
not
for
known
Flight
for
Sim
much,
and
but it's a
Star
place where
Citizen.
people go to
I just
escape the
see
things they
Star
never did.
Citizen
One of
as
my
like an
friends told me,
ongoing
"For
tech
one
demo.
time
That's
in a world
basically what it
record
is.
for the longest nap
There's
on
really not too much of a
Only
game
wake
there
up
yet,
sunburnt
I don't
in the
think.
shape of his own embarrassment.
Like there's
I
like
can
5
gracefully
different
avoid
things to do, and once you do them, you're like, all right, well,
You might
I'll see you in
appreciate
6
the
months
quiet
when you add one
simplicity
more
of
thing to do.
unassuming K.
That's the main problem with it, and why everybody makes fun of it is like they're like, we spent 6 months on a new character creator. Look, the hair blows in the wind, and you're like, yeah, but once I do that, then what? Like there's nothing to do. So I mean, it's very impressive. It's a very beautiful game. But at the end of the day, if it doesn't keep you occupied with tons of interesting content and things to do, it's just not, it's not a game. It's just like a showcase, you know? But I don't know. In 2030, 2035, I think everybody in the world will be playing it. Everybody will abandon World of Warcraft. Everybody will play Star Citizen. But, you know, it's going to take literally a decade. I don't know how they think it's going to launch anytime soon. Like, it's not possible. There's not enough content. There's one star system with 4 planets. That's it. There's a bunch of moons, but like, I don't think they understand that to have an MMO, you need content over everything. And it just doesn't have it. So I think this summer, they said it's this summer they're going to release Pyro, which is going to be the second system, and that they have like 80 or 90 star systems planned, which is great. But if it took them 10 years to make one star system, and they're finally going to release the second star system, how long is it going to take to release 90 star systems? You know, like, it's just a numbers game. Like, there are 5 things to do in the game and 1 star system. There's soon to be 2 star systems. How long is it going to take to get 90 star systems? We're going to be 90 by the time we have 90 star systems. Or probably be 90 by the time we have 10 star systems. So I'm just the ever skeptic. Like, I want it to be successful. I want to play it forever and love it and do base building and all that. It's going to take so long. Just look at the progress they've made in 10 years or 15. What has it been? 15 years? It's been so long. And what they have to show for it is 1 star system. It's crazy. It's just an ongoing tech demo. Yeah, Squadron 42. I hope it's good. I think supposedly they're feature complete, but that just means all the functionality is there, which is kind of the same problem that Star Citizen has. Feature complete does not mean content complete and ready to ship, and it's got a story and enough to do to keep people busy for 50 or 100 hours. You know, like, I don't know when we'll see it. I hope it's good, but yeah, Turk, we're definitely salvaging tonight. Well, like I said, when there's a huge patch, I'm all in. Like, I'm all in, or not all in. I'm all in for a few weeks. Maybe a week, maybe 2. And then it's going to get so monotonous, and then you're going to realize, well, there's no reason to earn money in Star Citizen because they're going to wipe it eventually again anyway. I can't build a base. There's no big goal. But again, it's like a tech demo. It's something once or twice a year to dust it off, try the new thing out, and then go back to what you were doing. But yes, we're going to salvage tonight. This water is too pretty to not get down here and look at more effects. Whoa. Not like that. Yeah, the water is super blue. And I don't run any filters or anything to make it look better. Like, this is all just straight out of the sim stock, as it always is. I know some people put on like NVIDIA game filters and crank the contrast and all that. I don't have anything like that going. This is just all what you get for free for zero efforts, zero tweaking. Yeah, the water looks incredible here. So hard to fly in third person. Trying to get that wake going. Yeah, we run out of things to do. Yeah, definitely. And I've tried other space games and none of them hold my attention. Like I've tried Elite Dangerous. You know, I think EVE Online is the best of them. There is so much to do in EVE Online, but a lot of people don't like it because they feel like they're playing an RTS, which I totally get. Like everybody just they don't know it, but they want EVE Online first person, which is what Star Citizen basically is. Like that is the space sim we all want. Elite Dangerous is basically like a single player PvE, it feels like, you know, which it's cool, but I don't know, it didn't grasp my attention. And then like No Man's Sky is cool in like an arcadey kind of way, and it has base building, but I think the big thing is it's not persistent. So when you play with your friends, like you're in one of each other's worlds and you can't like you can't like log into their world and work on it. So Starfield, I haven't played Starfield. I just heard so much bad about it that I never even tried it. It was one of the few games where I was like, I'm not going to try it when it comes out. But I also know some people that really love it. So I'm just a sucker for multiplayer games. Like I just like doing multiplayer as we're doing right now, right? Like you know, not just for streaming, but like with my friends, like I like multiplayer games more than anything. There are a lot of great single player games, but I like multiplayer games because it's a way to chill with your friends. And I do think like long-term Star Citizen will be really cool for that because we'll get an MMO, we'll get the cool like space immersion that so many of us want. Eventually it'll have VR so you can like be in your ship, and it's going to be very, very detailed. I think it is like the game we'll all be playing if they don't mess it up, but it's going to be like 10 years from now, so until then. And me and Turk have been talking about just like hauling cargo in Star Citizen. Like we don't really care that much about flying and doing space combat. We want to do all the logistical stuff, like transporting like huge amounts of space cargo that's worth like millions and millions of credits, you know, and like having our friends that have to, you know, escort us because it's worth so much, and transporting materials and logistics and doing base building when all that stuff's out. Like that stuff sounds pretty fun, you know? It's like this space building effort in an MMO. It sounds great in 2040 when we can do it. Yeah, Gray Zone Warfare. Me and Turk have been playing Gray Zone a little bit. It's pretty fun if you've played Tarkov. It's definitely more approachable. You can play PvE.
About as close as a bee's wing to a flower is Disney's Castaway Cay in the Bahamas. This little slice of paradise, or so they say, was once just a scruffy bit of land until Disney sprinkled its magic dust on it in 1996.
What?
Now it's a private island retreat where the only pirates you'll find are in costume. And the treasure is a decent cocktail. My mate Toby
The
once
treasure's a
tried to set up
decent
lemonade
cocktail.
stand there, but he got more attention from seagulls than customers. And speaking of navigating the unexpected, our setting heading is 258.
Did she just tell us our heading? All right. What a weirdo. Very strange, Janet. I think the only thing that would make this more fun right now, like flying along the water like this in helicopters, is if you had a giant wraparound projector thing or whatever. I would never have something like that in my house, in my place, but because it's just a ridiculous amount of hardware. But I could see why it could be incredible. Like those people with full home built things for Star Citizen or Microsoft Flight Sim, and Just like the full wraparound immersion. Like a 180-degree view or whatever. It's like right now, that would be really cool. But that's what VR's for, I guess. Like, you can just throw on a VR headset. You won't be able to, like, you know, it's obviously very different, but I should throw on VR more often. Make a pit stop and do cocktails. What time are we at right now? 2.5 hours? I don't know. Maybe I can do one more airport after this. To be honest, my shoulder is getting a bit tired. I even have my arm on an armrest while doing this, but all this stick action, it's making my arm tired. Got to switch to keyboard and mouse. And the water looks so good here. I don't know if you guys saw the Say Intentions announcements, but supposedly that taxiway stuff is coming out on Monday, I think they said, where it'll start, they're going to import 1,000 airports worth of data from Navigraph for taxiways. And then they're also going to release that web app so you can go to their site, you can go to Say Intentions, sign in, and you can modify the taxi data at an airport that you're at if you see it's a problem. And then those things will get approved, kind of like the World Hub works with Microsoft Flight Sim and scenery at the airports. And then it'll share that with the broader Say Intentions user base once they publish it. It seems incredible. Like they're going to crowdsource fixing the taxiways. So I'm pretty excited to try that out. I could see like doing some Say Intentions flights and whatever I land just on stream, you know, bring up the airport we landed at and fix it if there are problems with the taxiways. In the demo that they showed, I think their dev's name was Ryan that showed it on their stream. It looked very easy. If the problem is just with the taxiway name, you simply load up that web page, you choose the one taxiway and then rename it, choose the other one, rename it, and then submit it, and then it fixes it. It's kind of crazy. Oh, I should start slowing down here. All right, so I need to pull out the power while pitching up. I need to do it faster than I've been doing it. Oh, there we go. Okay. Not too bad. Now we'll get the rotor wash craziness going. Oh, I should be using Toby when I do this. Not that Toby. Ouch. 500 feet per minute. Horrible. Oh yeah, I do need to hit the brake. I just hit like my toe brakes and it stops me. It's a little weird. Picked a helicopter with autopilot. Very smart, yeah. Jeff says, is there a way to see other people's aircraft correctly? Unfortunately not. The only way... Sim Update 15, I'm pretty sure, has some updates to help with the model matching. So I hope one of the... I mean, there are 2 helicopters in the sim. Like, that everybody gets as part of Microsoft Flight Sim. So I hope at the least they make it so anything marked as a helicopter will use a generic model from the Bell or the Cabri that we all have. But yeah, it's really silly that we see people in like Bonanzas hovering around when they're in a helicopter. It is quite silly. Oh man, the Chinook sounds so cool. It's funny how the rotors barely move, but Yeah, and the 330 or the 320 has fighter jets. Yeah, is also super weird. I don't know what the drift is. I assume, is it a helicopter? What is DRIF? The drift? What is drift? Oh man, this is such a great place for a screenshot. It's beautiful here. Look at it. Jules says multiplayer model match can sort of fix. Yeah, I don't... Anything that takes too much effort to configure, I just am completely uninterested. I'm just so lazy. I just want everything to work. So I'm like, okay, well, I'd rather see... Instead of sitting there configuring some model matching add-on, and then every time there's a new thing, I have to, like, I don't know, like, add another model matching rule to it. Like, it just sounds like a part-time job, and I'm just like, nah, I'll wait till they fix it. Just show how silly it looks until it's actually fixed. Maybe they'll fix it someday. Just too lazy. That's why I actually love, like, Flow, for example, with, like, the nameplates. It just works. Like, I didn't have to dive into files to change the colors of the names or anything like that. It just, you just use the UI, and it's really well done. I'm looking for really well-made things like that, you know? Oh, you did it just to not see A330 as fire jets, all F-18s. Yeah, that's cool. It's probably not really that much work. I'm just stubborn. Just kind of like how I am with the marketplace a lot of times. I'm just like, if I can't click it one place and buy it there and get all the updates instantly whenever I open the sim, like, I'm not really interested. But, you know, for things like the Black Square Duke, for example, like, that's not even, you know, Black Square doesn't have any planes in the marketplace, so I know the only option is to get it through Just Flight. So when I don't have a choice, I'll definitely just suck it up. But yeah, usually I just want things to be all in one place, easy to update, easy to download, easy to use. Yeah, this direction looks amazing. Looks pretty good. I wish it was higher res over here, like the textures and stuff, like how blurry that looks. It's kind of funny. But I'm sure it's a performance thing. And this, like, even just like this runway looks kind of hilarious. The textures don't look bad that close up. FX is in a C-130. Oh, C-310, sorry, not C-130. C-310. Slightly different. Just a little bit different. The 310R. I think we should do one more. It's only been 2 hours. I think I can handle one more, but then my arm is going to want to break. Just chill in here for a minute so we can get some group flight pictures going. Some people can catch up. Beldelin's catching up. Yeah, I see you in the Kit Fox over there. You're pretty close, it looks like. I can see you if I don't zoom in, I can see his plane. And when I zoom in, I can't see his plane. It just makes sense. Also a weird thing I hope they fix in 2024. Like, I see his lights. The further I zoom out, the more I see his lights. And then when I zoom in, he disappears. It's so strange. What a weird thing in the game. All right, let's go. I'm gonna do one more. Go to the next one. I can't end before 3 hours. It feels wrong. That's not enough time flying helicopters. Maybe we can just go to the southern part here. Maybe 2 more. This area looks cool too. We got the super blue water on the satellite images, so it's probably going to be really cool. I don't know why it's rolling forward so much. I can't even hear my engine. There we go. There's like too many sounds happening. Alright, that wasn't too bad. I think my problem is if I linger too long, it starts getting out of control because of like the rotor wash or whatever. It starts getting kind of crazy. I'm sure it also has to do with like adding too much collective or not. If you do it too fast or too much, whoa.
Right below us is
Too much, too fast.
A private island.
I'm getting the oscillation again. Okay, left.
It's a place where fantasy meets reality.
You have to like change it very little and then wait to see the result of your change.
It was once known as Gordon.
Okay, there we go.
Disney bought it in 1996.
More collective.
Probably because they wanted to add pirate shipwreck to their portfolio of princess castles.
All right, to the south. Let's go.
And the fact that it's the only place where you can get a sunburn and a Mickey Mouse ice cream at the same time. My friend Toby, he once tried to recreate the scene from The Little Mermaid on the shore here, but all he attracted was a confused pelican and a lot of judgment.
Wait for the planes to get up. I have even though my rudder pedals are disconnected, I keep naturally pushing on them with my feet like it's going to do something. It's pretty cool following a plane along the runway while it takes off. Didn't quite get my camera at the right spot, but it's still kind of cool. We're like aerial photographers right now. That'll be really fun to do, yeah, when Sim Update 15 is out and we get all the multiplayer effects from the Sim Effects thing. That's going to be cool to like follow people during takeoffs and landings and as they skim along the water and things like that and just watch all the effects happen. That'll be pretty cool. I'll have to do that when Sim Update 15's out. And Sim Update 15 is going to have the G3X Touch, but I don't know. I've been thinking about doing tutorials about it, but I'm not quite sure. Oh yeah, the improved Duke. What is exactly... I don't even know what the limitation was with the Duke. Is it the ground handling? Is that why? It must be the ground handling, huh? They're using the new Sim Update 15 ground handling, maybe? They do feel really squirrely on the ground, so that would make sense. I think I need to like open one of the doors. It's just like so quiet. Doesn't even feel like we're in a helicopter right now. But the G3X Touch is nice, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really fly many planes that have it. It's gonna be in a lot of the like tail draggers and stuff, so maybe I'll need to get into like doing more bush flying, and that'll motivate me to maybe make some tutorials about it. It is pretty confusing, like where you click for certain things. Like I know you click the HSI to bring up your navigation, like your navigation source options and your what would be normally under your like MFD options. I think the G1000 is just in so many planes that I fly that that's what I was most interested in. Yeah, the better ground handling. That'll be awesome though. Like that's gonna be that's like the the biggest feature for me for Sim Update 15 is the new ground handling. And I did play around with this Cessna 172 when it when the first beta came out. I haven't touched it since then, but it felt really good. Like it felt, I mean, I know it's supposed to be way more realistic and I don't have a real life comparison to make with it, but it felt way more solid on landing. Like when I landed, it wasn't like pulling super hard to one direction, which is pretty crazy. So it's cool to know that the Duke will have that, just because it's going to take other developers longer and longer to implement it. Every developer is going to have to implement the new ground physics and stuff in their plane. So until we get all the planes updated, I mean, it's great. I think the Duke is such a cool plane. So I had a lot of fun flying it. And I could definitely see flying it pretty often, especially the turbine one. Takeoff distance is insane. The speed is great. The climb rate is awesome. It's got the super cool old school avionics, or you can use this GTNs in it. It's really, really well done. I think the only thing that would make it better is being able to inflate. Oh, it needs a sit forward position. That's right. There's no position like this when you move your hat up, and it desperately needs that. That'll be a really nice improvement, I think. But yeah, the only thing that could make the black square planes better is if they do like a wear and tear thing on the non-essential, like the wear and tear on things like the tires and the tire inflation and the oil and all that kind of stuff. I think that maybe they have the oil. But I really, really love that stuff about the Comanche and the Meridian, which is why I keep going back to them. And the Tomahawk has that too. The Tomahawk walk around is great, but I just don't see myself flying like an airplane that goes 100 knots very often. So yeah, it's just more about the turboprops. Onboard says Turbine Duke's my new favorite. It's incredible, yeah. I really, really like it. Drift is an ultralight. I typed it in to check and I didn't find any. Oh, maybe it's two Fs, that's why. Yeah, I typed DRIF and didn't come up with anything useful. Like the FS Reborn makes the Sling S4 as well, that two-seater ultralight, and it's really cool. Some of the ultralights are amazing. I haven't used or heard of the Drift before though. Have to check that one out. I am drifting right now myself. Drifting. Yeah, I wasn't sure how much I was gonna like the Dukes just because the hype was so big around them, but yeah, absolutely love them. And John said, yeah, I'm using the G3X. Pretty basic. If you know the G1000, you'll know the G3X. Yeah, it's like very similar. I think the hardest part is just like knowing where to tap sometimes is a little weird, but it's pretty self-explanatory. It's not such a huge change from the G1000 that you wouldn't understand it. I think the GNS 530 and 430 are quite a bit different than the G1000 just because of the limited screen space and all that, and it's got a slightly more dated look to them. But yeah, the G3X Touch looks very similar to the G1000 where everything's laid out. So yeah, maybe that's true where everybody just kind of knows how to use it because it's just a almost like a touchscreen G1000. What's up, Cyber? Yeah, you hope the Dukes make it to the marketplace. I wish, but yeah, I wasn't going to hold my breath just because there's no other black square plane on the marketplace. You can't get the TBMs, you can't get the Analog Caravan. They have 0 planes on the marketplace. So I wish they would put it on the marketplace though. It's probably just it's too complex to run on an Xbox maybe. But yeah, they could do a PC only marketplace release. I don't know what it is. It could be like an exclusivity agreement with Just Flight or something like that. Like maybe they're like, all right, well, you're going to put it only in our store. That's the deal. We'll sell your plane, but don't put it in the marketplace.
Away, you'll find Disney's
no idea.
A private island paradise reserved for Disney Cruise Line guests. It's a place where the sand is as white as
After Sim Update 15, really? You think it'll be on the marketplace? That would be great.
The island was once known as Gorda Cay, but Disney bought it in 1996.
All right, Janet, you're done for the night, I think. Too much Disney trivia. Yeah, that would be great if it comes out and it's available for Xbox and it's on the marketplace. That would be so cool. More and more people need to have access to planes like the black square ones. That's why I love, like, I think the Tomahawk. Yeah, the Tomahawk and the Meridian are both on the marketplace, and they're incredible. Oh, the dev confirmed it. Nice. Oh, that's incredible. Then I'm glad. I'll feel bad that I didn't get on the marketplace now, but I wasn't gonna wait for Sim Update 15 to get the Dukes though. It was just too exciting. Gotta try them out. Sandy Point. Oh, there's no airport here. It's just flying us by this island. All right, let me land on the island. Gotta work on my landings. Keep forgetting to turn on the Toby. Whoa, whoa, steady now. And we can see the dirt effect as well as I fail this landing. Kick up some dirt. No dirt. Wow, it just starts spinning wildly out of control. I-beam. I don't know anything about I-beam. Is that a Toby? Is that another head tracker? Beam eye tracker? I think people in the chat have talked. Is that the free one that works with your phone? I think there's a free one with your phone that people say does a really good job. But I just have the Toby and I like it. I've used the Track IR in the past, but I didn't like it because I didn't want yet another cable going, and you have to like attach it to like glasses or a hat or something, or your headset or your headphones, and it's just like I don't want another cable going to my head. Like my headset is enough. Beam eye tracker, not free. No, I haven't tried it. I don't know anything about Beam, but I'm really happy with the Toby. I think I might be a version behind on the Toby, but it's really good with the eye tracking and the head tracking, and you don't have to wear anything compared to like the Track IR. John says go to the other end of the island, see where the cruise ships dock. I think I see you right over there. On my way, John. Are there cruise ships over there? Or a dock? I wonder if I have like the global add-on for cruise ships and stuff. I wonder if anything is actually over here. Other side of the island. I assume that's the south side over here. Oh, right over here. Is there like... There's like a reef right here or something? Or like a sound, basically? It must be this section right here, huh? Oh, yeah, and there's some buildings over here. Oh, Open Track is the free one. That must be the one people were talking about the last time we talked about head trackers, and a lot of people seem to say that the free phone-based ones were actually really good. I mean, no reason to spend hundreds of dollars on a head or an eye tracker if the free version works great, right? Yeah, this is definitely the spot. Are there like beach chairs down there or something? What are we seeing? Yeah, there's a bunch. It's from the satellite imagery. There's a bunch of like, you can see all like the lounges and stuff set up down there where people can enjoy their cocktails on the beach from the satellite image. That's cool. I would go there. Who wouldn't go there? Yeah, this would be really nice right now. Can I just teleport there? Maybe we could get the Star Citizen devs on it, on a real-world teleporter, since they're all about tech demos. Can we get a human teleporter machine, please? Take a break from Star Citizen, making new UIs and hair generators. We need tech to bring us to the beaches of the Bahamas. I am good. I do make fun of it, but I am going to play Star Citizen when I'm done with the stream and have some food. That's going to happen. Yeah, this looks super, super comfy here. All right, I'm going to check out one more airport here. Southeast MYAS Sandy Point Airport. This will be the final stop. Need to give my hand a rest here. This hand needs to start using keyboard and mouse instead. I've actually been flying in Star Citizen with keyboard and mouse instead of my peripherals, and I kind of love it. Alright, I'm gonna get down to the water and pretend like I know what I'm doing again. Just fun to splash the water about. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I really enjoy Toby when I use it when we're doing stuff like this. Like, we do so much IFR and autopilot, but yeah, doing this kind of stuff is super fun. All right, Sandy Point, we're on the way. We need to find the best part. If there's a resort here, that's where we need to end it. Not at the actual airport. It looks like the north part, maybe a little bit north of the airport, there's this awesome reef-looking area. Whoops, staring at the map. Yeah, whatever this is. Let's go see what that is. Maybe that'll be a more fun spot to land. Will you get? I wonder if we'll get credit in our logbook. I forget how the logbook works nowadays. Like, if you need to land at an airport for it to consider it a completed flight, I think you do. Beldolin says, I use Track IR, but tried Beam Eye Tracker. $28. Damn, it's only $28. I think the Toby is like $300 or $350. The Toby is very expensive. Now, let me look up Toby Eye Tracker. I'm gonna crash while I do it. Toby Eye Tracker 5 shopping. Oh, these are not Toby Eye Trackers. What is this? Google is so weird. 200. Oh, it's on sale. It was $279. It's on sale for $237. What a weird price. So about $240 US for Toby Eye Tracker 5. VR headset for $350. Track IR is $150. Okay, so Toby is like $100 more. That is pretty crazy. It's really nice though. Like I love, like you just clip it on your monitor. It goes on the bottom of your monitor and you just hit the button. You calibrate your eyes once and it's like good to go. It's really nice. It's just one cable, USB, and you stick it on the bottom of your monitor, point it at yourself, and you're done. It is really high quality. Like I don't have any complaints about using it, but yeah, the price is going to be a huge barrier to entry. Oh, Beam Eye Tracker uses a webcam. Got it. Yeah, I mean, if you have a webcam, you can also use... Is that what, that's what OpenTrack does? I assume you can just use your webcam for them as well. Like, Toby uses, like, infrared or something like that to do all the head tracking, I think. It's got, like, red lights that turn on it. Receiving my dose of IR for the day, I guess. Oh, here we go. This looks like a resort. What do we got over here? We're gonna need to check the selection at the bar over here before we decide to land or not. Gotta get the important questions answered. This might just be somebody's house, though. Yeah, I think these might just be houses. Any of these houses a resort by chance? Are you a resort? I mean, if they have a good home bar, coffee bar or alcohol bar, either way, call ahead seating. So, I don't know. Definitely need to find the most commercial looking spot here. Oh, here we go with a dock or this pier. It doesn't look very... Nah, I don't think that's good enough. Not good enough for us. We need better. We might have to settle for the airport bar, honestly. I hate to say it, but, you know. I mean, the airport bar is where you make friends with strangers. It's the only place in the world where it's acceptable to just talk to everybody. It's just so strange. Airport bars are very interesting. I wonder if it's just some, like, primal, like, ancient thing where it's like, as you're traveling... It's like this instinct to just talk to the people that are traveling with you or who are also traveling. And so you're like, hey, are we cool? Let's chat with each other because I'm traveling and this is instinctually a dangerous activity, traveling as a human. So I need to talk to everybody I'm traveling near to make sure that they're not a threat to me during my travels. I don't know. I don't know what it is about airport bars. Man, I don't see. I think the place we were at was the best option for our resort-like experience. There's really not much here. Unless it's further down the coast or something. Alright, yeah, we're gonna have to settle for the airport, I think. I'm still pushing my rudder pedals even though they're not they're not connected to anything. to get these floats on the ground. $271. Not my worst, but still pretty bad. Don't mind me, I'm just spinning this along the ground. Whoa! Oh man. Can I move forward a little bit? Whoa, whoa. Nope, nope, nope. It does not like me at all. Why is it just sliding? This thing is so powerful. The collective's at 0. Maybe this is where I pull the rotor prop back. I'm sure there's something I'm missing. 1,000 things I'm missing. Alright, that's not too bad. I'm just over here near the trees. This is totally fine. Man, that was a workout. Flying helicopters, somehow it's more difficult than using autopilot in a plane. I don't know what it is about it. All right, underdog. Make us proud. It's doing a flyby. Beldelin's coming in the Kit Fox. Oh, Underdog's going over to this parking lot area. Oh, nope. Nope, he's not. We got aerobatics. I mean, that's a pretty fun helicopter. The Alouette. 25 bucks. It just had so many high ratings that I just had to grab it. Helis give you arthritis. I'm smiling when I'm done, but my knees are shot on the pedals for hours. Man, yeah, I'm not even using pedals. I'm just doing the, That's me every time in a tail dragger. I can't do it. It's so hard. Yeah, I can imagine, Jeff. Yeah, just using the stick. Well, I guess partially because it's not a dead stick, but I don't know. Anyway, just the action of holding your arm out like that, with or without an armrest. Like I have an armrest, and it's just, man, it's tiring. Flying fake helicopters feels like it might as well be real. How tiring it is. And Jack is in the Alouette as well. Alouette. It's just a cool looking helicopter. Damn. Nice landing. I guess that's how you do it. Mine is just like, oh, Pryfly's in it too. Wait, were you in it the whole time? No, you were in the Chinook, weren't you? That livery looks so cool. It's gonna land right on the fuel pump. Just literally everybody is better at landing helicopters than me. Feels bad. You guys are training me in chat, so it makes sense. And this is not the prettiest airport, that's for sure. These are not going to be the best photos we've ever taken together. That resort was definitely the highlight of the trip. The Cowan MD500. Okay, very responsive and manual. All right, I'll have to check out the Cowan then if I get when I get back into them. I just decided, even though that there were a bunch of Cowans, that yeah, I was gonna get the H125, but I'll keep that in mind, the MD500, if I pick up another one. All right, that was pretty fun. I don't know how many miles we covered, but I mean, we got a good 3 hours of helicopter flying in. Need to go stretch my arm out, have a protein shake or something. Then my arm will get huge, right? I think that's how it works. All right, guys, that was fun. I will not be on stream on Tuesday. I'm going to see some music, but I'll try to get a Monday stream in probably. Monday or Wednesday to make up for it. Probably Monday. Wednesday just sounds forever away. But yeah, going out to see a show on Tuesday. Some live music. It is conflicting. I've had a lot of conflicts the last month. I'm actually like leaving the house, so certain streams I'm unable to make. Thanks guys for joining, and ladies, gentlemen, ladies. everyone. Appreciate it. Thanks for the tips so much, by the way. Jeff and Underdog, too. With all the helicopter tips. I feel like I improved just in the last couple hours, so it's been super fun. Hope you guys have a good rest of your Saturday. And thanks for the subs on YouTube, Michael and Randy and Christian. Appreciate that. If you guys want to hop on the Discord, as usual, I'll throw the link in the chat. If you want to hang out there. Sometimes there are group flights that like Sierra and some other people in Discord will run and do airliners and stuff like that. But thanks, guys, for hanging out. Thanks for all the tips. It was very pretty and a nice break from all the IFR stuff. And most likely on, I'll probably do the stream on Monday. I'll be back in checking out the latest updates to Say Intentions. So Say Intentions is going to have the taxiway updates. I think they said on Monday. So if that happens, then hopefully we can check those out and check out the taxiway editor, which is pretty crazy news. I think it's, yeah, it's potentially going to be a really, really huge improvement to their AI ATC with good taxiway instructions. So pretty excited to check that out. All right, I'm going to go get that protein shake, stretch the stick arm out. I'll talk to you guys on Discord. Have a great rest of your day, great rest of your weekend. As always, thanks for joining. Always good seeing you, dudes. All right, I'll see you all on the next stream, probably Monday. Take it easy. See ya.